Golden Age Radio is starting now. Subscribe to get future updates.
Hey everybody, get ready for some great shows. Starting out with Cavalcade of America, Lux Theater with some great Hollywood stars, Groucho Marx, one of the best comedians in history, and also followed by the hilarious Red Skelton.
The Cavalcade of America, presented by DuPont. This evening, the Cavalcade of America brings you the story of Peter Cooper, industrialist, philanthropist, and educator. Cooper found fame and fortune late in life and used his success to help young people just beginning the struggle of life. His own life was a continued attempt to improve conditions around him. And today, research chemists are following that same ideal. In research laboratories such as those maintained by DuPont, experiments are constantly being carried on to bring more comforts and conveniences into our daily lives. The significance of this work is aptly summed up in the DuPont pledge: better things for better living through chemistry. As an overture, Don Voorhees and the Cavalcade Orchestra bring us a special setting of Jerome Kern's well-known Babes in the Wood from the musical comedy Very Good Eddie. Peter Cooper was born in 1791, the fifth child in the family. In those trying early years of our nation, the boy helped his hard-working father, who was successively a hatter, brewer, storekeeper, and brickmaker. Of actual schooling, Peter Cooper had little. Yet he pressed onward, making his way in life, first as apprentice to a coachmaker, and finally as proprietor of a small grocery store in New York City. In his 36th year, we find Peter Cooper in his grocery store, waiting on a woman customer.
Yeah, there's your order, Mrs. Van Slyke. Is that all?
Yes, Mr. Cooper, that's all. Oh, by the way, what's this I hear about you buying some more property?
Yes, I bought 3 lots last week.
Well, apparently you save your money, Mr. Cooper.
Yes, and now let me see. Your bill adds up $4.83. And there's your statement.
$4.83. Carrots, potatoes. Well, you seem to have your own methods of spelling, Mr. Cooper.
Well, I never learned to spell. Weren't any good schools around where I come from. Anyway, I was too busy to go to them. My ignorance always has troubled me.
Oh, well, I didn't mean to laugh. I'm sorry.
Well, I think folks need to be educated. When I was young, I used to putter along with inventions, mechanical things. I had talent in my hands, but never trained to use it. Now I've drifted into storekeeping. So I honestly think I'd be better at something else.
Yes, most men seem to think they're in the wrong business nowadays. Well, here's your money.
Thanks. I don't think you understand what I mean about education, Mrs. Van Slyke. For instance, you asked me about those lots I bought.
Yes?
I feel my lack of education so much that someday I'm going to build a school on those lots.
A school? For yourself, Mr. Cooper?
For young people without opportunity, or older men like myself who still need to learn, or...
Oh, my goodness. Well, I ought not to laugh, but... Well, I'm ashamed of you, Mr. Cooper. I always thought you to be a sensible man. And now I find you with daydreams like a 10-year-old.
I don't think any man's too old to plan for the future.
Well, I do. Why, you're at least... Well, I won't guess at your age. But I know you're a married man and the father of a family. Now, don't talk nonsense about schools, Mr. Cooper. You be sharper about your business. And you don't even close your store at regular hours. Good evening.
Good evening. Yeah, what? Oh, it's you, John Freeland.
Quite a talking to you got, Peter, huh?
Where were you all the time, John?
Sitting down behind that cracker barrel till the storm blew over.
Listen, John, did you hear her laugh at my school?
Well, Peter, most of the neighbors think you are just talking when you start planning that school of yours.
Well, why shouldn't I plan something big, John? Lectures for young mechanics and engineers and a big free reading room.
Take a lot of money to start a free school, Peter.
I know it. That's why I got to find a larger business.
Why? You're doing well right here, aren't you?
What were you telling me yesterday about a glue factory up for sale?
Well, Peter, you're not serious about that, are you? Well, they want $2,000.
I've got that much.
And the real reason they're selling it is because nobody in this country knows how to make glue.
Whenever I hear anyone say no one in this country knows how, I want to find out. They make glue in England and in Germany.
Sure they do. They have chemists, men who have been working for years.
Well, if they can find out, so can I. Blow out the lamp on the counter, will you, John, while I lock up?
Well, surely, Peter. Surely.
Thanks.
That widow Van Slyke seems to have gotten you all riled up, Peter.
It was what she said about my being too old to plan a future and work for it.
Well, you're 36.
Well, what's that? She thinks I'm at the end of my life, does she? I'm just beginning.
In 1827, the story of American invention had scarcely begun. As a young country with few trained scientists, the United States still had to look abroad for many of her manufactured products. But men like Peter Cooper were to change her from a backwoods nation to a first-rate power. In a small factory standing near the location of New York's present Metropolitan Tower, Peter Cooper started looking for a good glue, which was to be the basis of many other important manufactures. As he had no scientific training, it took many months before he mastered the technique of research. In the fall of 1829, 2 years later, Peter Cooper welcomes his wife to his laboratory.
I suppose a glue factory has to smell like this, Peter.
I'm afraid it does, sir. I don't like to ask a good housekeeper like you into this laboratory of mine, but I finished my last experiment now, and I wanted you to know about it.
Did you solve what was bothering you, Peter?
Yes, I've got the whole solution. I guess I must have solved some mighty difficult problems in chemistry during the last few years without knowing myself what I was doing. Well, anyway, I've got the right ingredients now and the way to put them together. I can make the best glue in the world.
Why, Peter Cooper, you sound almost boastful.
Well, I can't help it. It's true. It's better than English glue and German, too. I wanted you to see everything, Sarah, because, well, you've had a hard struggle, too. But there's plenty of comfort for you and the children in these little jars.
American glue that sticks. Well, you won't have to mind anymore when folks laugh at you, Peter.
Oh, I never minded. I realized the neighbors thought a grocery man had no business making glue. And I never cared when other businessmen laughed because I had to be my own janitor and chemist and salesman and bill collector all in one. I'm used to being a plain man, Sarah, and I had to keep to my natural ways.
Don't you ever change, Peter.
Sarah, there's something else I want to show you here in the laboratory.
Peter, you have a new plan. I was sure from the beginning that you didn't ask me here just to look at that glue.
Well, no. I wanted you to see this model over here.
What is it?
The beginning of a steam locomotive.
A steam locomotive?
Mm-hmm. I've thought out a way to put power to the wheels without using a crank like the English do.
Well, what good is that?
Well, American railroads have to have locomotives. You see, English engines are built for level ground and can't turn sharp curves our landscape calls for. Look at the Baltimore and Ohio.
Oh.
Tracks partly laid, but nothing satisfactory to run on them yet.
I knew there was something in your mind when you were talking about the Baltimore and Ohio at supper the other night. So now you want to quit the glue business and begin with railroads, do you?
Well, I wouldn't quit the business, Sarah. Other men can help me run it while I experiment. I have a gift for tinkering, I think. I tinkered with glue till I got it.
Well, the glue and locomotives are different.
Sarah, I know I can build one.
Well, you're so sure, I suppose you can.
Sarah, the only difficulty is that if I branch out into another business, like perhaps iron for the new railroads, I'd risk what we've got now.
Peter, you know I was always willing to get up early every morning so I'd have time to bake bread for the grocery store. My goodness, if you can take a chance making a locomotive, I can take a chance on going back to my oven.
I'll do all I can to keep you from that, Sarah. I'm going to take my locomotive down to Baltimore the first chance I get. And if I'm lucky, I'm going to have something to do with this country's future.
Glue and then iron. Peter Cooper purchased an ironworks near Baltimore and became interested in railroad development. His technical knowledge of engines came to him through natural talent and hard work. On a day in October 1829, we find Peter Cooper waiting anxiously beside the newly laid rails of the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad near Mount Clair, Maryland. The directors of the railroad have assembled to test a tiny locomotive that Peter Cooper and his assistant are making ready.
Am I getting enough steam up, Mr. Cooper? There's an awful load to carry.
Only 36 in the carriage and 6 in the engine with me.
Heavens to Betsy, I better blow the fire somewhere, huh? Yeah, I wish I could ride on the engine to help you, Mr. Cooper.
Thanks, Sam, but I'm afraid I'm the only person who would know what to do if anything went wrong.
Yes, oh, here's some more nosy folks coming to look at your invention.
The engine's here for that very reason, Sam. So the railroad directors can look at it.
Well, I don't like the look some of them make towards you, sir.
Oh,
And here's what'll try to pull us to Ellicott Mills, gentlemen. Mr. Cooper, what do you call this monstrous engine of yours?
Why, I call it Tom Thumb.
Very appropriate.
You must realize, gentlemen, that this is only a small model of what an American-built engine should be like.
Tell me, what are those vertical tubes to the boiler, Mr. Cooper? They look familiar.
Those are musket barrels, Mr. Croft.
Musket barrel. Very ingenious. And may I ask if that is a wash boiler set endwise?
Well, it's the same idea as a wash boiler.
See, Croft, the whole thing is thrown together out of odds and ends. Child's toy.
Yes, obviously.
Well, the Baltimore and Ohio may be in dire straits from engine problems, but It doesn't seem to me like any solution. I doubt if it moves an inch.
But, gentlemen, the size doesn't matter.
Well, we shall see, Mr. Cooper. Ross, has the man had experience with engines before?
Why, no. See, he's a glue maker from New York.
I told you, Mr. Cooper. They aren't all friendly.
Well, that's what we have to expect, Sam.
I suppose.
Aboard, please, gentlemen. Take your places in the coach.
Good luck, Mr. Cooper.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you.
And this is the engine that's expected to take contracts away from our English models, Jerry. Let's have a look before we get aboard.
Small enough, isn't it?
Are you Mr. Cooper?
Yes, sir.
Well, let me compliment you, sir. The president of the road has spoken very hopefully of your work. As an engineer visiting your country, I'm greatly interested in any new features you've developed.
Well, thank you, sir. Naturally, I'm a bit nervous, and I appreciate any kind words.
Take your places, gentlemen. Please, the journey must start. If it is a journey.
Let's get aboard quickly, Jerry. There's some space right in front by the engine. Good luck, Mr. Cooper.
Well, thank you, sir.
Don't push.
Come, Jerry.
Don't push. I wish we might ride on the engine.
Well, we'll get a better view here.
We're all aboard, Mr. Cooper. Very well, sir. Here we go.
By Jove, we're moving. Why, we're gaining speed.
Yes, we're going up this grade as fast as horses could take us.
Faster, I think. No jolting either. That's the advantage of a railroad, Jerry. Why, what are you doing with pencil and paper? Taking notes on Mr. Cooper's engine?
No, I'm proving to myself that you can ride going as fast as we are.
Ah, well, the test of writing is in the reading, gentlemen. May I see if I can read what you've written?
Oh, certainly, sir.
Thank you. If we reach Ellicott Mills, Peter Cooper may be a famous man. Huh. You should change that may to will be, sir.
Peter Cooper, in his middle 40s, became a man of tremendous importance. He continued inventing, and his achievements seemed endless. Improvements in steam boilers, in grinding marble and metal substances, in salt making, in methods for hauling boats on the Erie Canal, in dozens of other mechanical processes that were building the new America. He was a leading spirit in the first attempts to lay an Atlantic cable, and he became a potent factor in American industry. But in the back of his mind was always the ambition to found a great school, which would give to American youth the scientific and technical training he had been unable to get. He began erecting a building in New York City, which was to be called the Union of Science and Art. But a great obstacle lay ahead. In 1857, in the office of the Cooper Industries, Peter Cooper, now in his 60s, talks to his younger associates.
Yeah, what's going on outside, Slade? Can you see from the window?
Well, there's a line 3 blocks long in front of the Union Bank.
Well, if this goes on, the banks will suspend specie payments.
This is the most frightful panic the country has ever known, Mr. Cooper. The United States is done for.
Oh, I don't know about that, Mr. Spence. Country is like a man. Can stagger through a lot of trouble and somehow keep on its feet.
I hope your courage is justified, Mr. Cooper. Mr. Cooper. Very bad news from the ironworks. I was afraid of it. I was afraid of it.
Well, out with it, Randall. We can stand anything. Blackwell and Company gone under, or the Gridley Weston firm?
Well, Gridley and Weston can pay us a little. But Blackwell and Company have failed.
I knew it.
What can we do about it, Mr. Cooper? Well, some of the firms are shutting down when they're still solvent.
I don't think scuttling the ship is the way to weather a storm.
Well, there wouldn't be many to blame you, sir, in this crisis.
The man whose blame I wouldn't want to face is myself, Peter Cooper. This is no time for a businessman to behave like a coward or a scoundrel.
You're at an age, sir, when it would be natural to retire.
Listen to me, all of you. I'll retire when I die. All my life, men have been saying to me I was at an age when... There is no age when a sensible man stops acting with gumption.
But if everyone has lost confidence...
We must help restore it. Take this message to our superintendents, Randall. This plant and the ironworks remain at the service of the country, open.
Yes, sir.
And if there's no business for me to do these days, I'll spend all my time planning my Institute of Arts and Sciences.
Oh, not going on with that, Mr. Cooper.
Well, the building's nearly finished, thank heaven. My Institute for Science may be the last building ever erected in New York. but it's going to go up as I planned.
The Union of Science and Art was completed in the midst of panic by a brave man who did not doubt his country's eventual progress. Cooper Union, as it has always been called, was one of the first scientific and technical schools of first-rate ranking in the country. From its rostrum spoke a host of distinguished lecturers. It showed American industry, already aware that the old apprentice system was too slow for modern life, the way to train men for skilled posts. A few years after the opening, old Peter Cooper, wandering through the halls, speaks to a young teacher.
I beg your pardon. Aren't you Mr. Crossley, the new engineering instructor?
Yes, sir. Can I direct you somewhere?
No, thank you. I'm Peter Cooper.
Oh, Mr. Cooper, I beg your pardon. I've seen pictures of you, but I didn't know. I didn't expect you.
You didn't expect to see an old man like me puttering about the halls, striking up conversations with strangers, huh? I'd like to meet my instructors.
Well, I'm honored to meet you, sir. I was very happy when I received word that I was to teach at Cooper Union. It's a remarkable school, sir. Someday people will realize how much you've done here and how many new ideas and education you've started.
Thanks. But what worries me is that I'm so little used to the school now that it's started. That's a strange feeling, Mr. Crossley, to have an idea all your life, but to be so ignorant of book learning yourself that you have to turn it over entirely to other men.
Oh, but surely all the big decisions have been yours.
Oh, the big decisions, yes. But I come down here several days a week and roam about, hoping I'll come upon things, human details, that I could settle. Now, you're new, Mr. Crossley. If you think of any improvements, you come straight to me.
I will, sir. Are you going into the director's office? Well, let me open the door for you.
Yes, thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Cooper.
Good morning.
So, mademoiselle, you should listen to me and then tell the director about my son here, if you will, please.
It's no use, Father. Don't plague the lady.
Your son is right, sir. He's too young to enter Cooper Institute, and I won't bother the director.
Miss Costello.
Oh, good morning, sir. Did you want to see Mr. Hewitt?
Would you mind telling him I'm here? I can wait if he's busy.
Just a moment, sir. I'll tell him.
Monsieur.
Father, don't bother this gentleman, too. Let us go now. We knew I was too young to study here.
What's the trouble, my boy? You are younger than most students who try to enter our classes.
What do the years matter, monsieur le professeur? Is it not the brain of this boy that counts? His eyes that see so deeply, his fingers that are so clever with a pencil.
Oh, so. You want to enter a drawing class, young man?
Yes, monsieur.
Monsieur le professeur, I am a poor cobbler. I come to America from France to enjoy your great free country. Perhaps you teach drawing. Perhaps you will help my Auguste.
Oh, I'm not a professor, sir. I'm too unlearned a man for that.
Oh, not a professor. Pardon, monsieur. Come, my son. We have wasted our time. Gather your drawings. Bien. Pas de chance.
Just a moment, sir.
I'm sorry, sir. My father, he has counted so long on this. He meant no insult.
Oh, I know how he feels. I've had children, too, and worried about the future. Are those your drawings in that great bundle under your arm?
Yes, monsieur.
Oh, would you show them to me?
But, monsieur, if you are not a
I will gladly show them to you, monsieur. I have carried them all this way and no one looks.
Well, put them here on this table.
Yes, monsieur. This one is an old bakery woman. Sometimes she gives me cakes.
Yes. You've caught the look of a gentle, warm-hearted woman.
Auguste, viens.
And here's Father bending over a boot to mend it. You can only see the top of his head, but it is the hands mostly.
Yes, I see that. I have always liked to make beautiful things, too, son. When I was your age, they apprenticed me to a carriage maker, and I love to carve wood.
I love best to model, sir, to work with my hands in clay. But one must learn to draw first. If I only had someone to teach me.
Well, son,
I'm sorry to delay you, Mr. Cooper. Mr. Hewitt says to go right in.
Oh, that's all right, Miss Costello.
Monsieur Cooper?
Are you Monsieur Peter Cooper?
Yes, son. And I want to know your name.
Saint-Gaudin, monsieur.
Auguste Saint-Gaudens, we should not have troubled you with these drawings.
Miss Costello, tell Mr. Hewitt I'm sending a substitute for my appointment. This little boy.
But what for, Mr. Cooper?
Hewitt will understand when he looks at these drawings. Good luck to you, Auguste. Mr. Hewitt will take care of your enrollment in the school.
Merci mille fois, monsieur. Merci.
Merci, Cooper. I thank you. I hope I may do something for you someday.
Let us see you do something for the school, son. I'm expecting great things of you, Auguste. Don't disappoint me.
Auguste Saint-Gaudens became the distinguished American sculptor Augustus St. Gaudens. His statue of Peter Cooper, the grocery dealer and untrained scientist who was to provide training for thousands of others, stands today before the modern Cooper Union in New York City. As educator, inventor, industrialist, and above all, as an example of the spirit that helps make our country great, Peter Cooper, a man who refused to let age defeat his plans, holds a place of great honor in the Cavalcade of America. Today, industry has responsibilities beyond immediate sales. Not only are industrial firms expected to turn out useful goods at fair prices, they must constantly improve those products, develop new ones, and enable more people to share their benefits by constantly lowering costs. The DuPont Company, representative of the chemical industry, has just issued its annual report covering its activities for 1936 and reviewing the progress made by the company during its 135th year of existence. Many people think of 1929 as the peak of good times for everybody. But what do we find when we compare DuPont's activities during that so-called boom year with its record for 1936? Here are a few comparisons. Prices. Average price of DuPont products now 30% below 1929. $31 million spent last year to extend manufacturing facilities, improve operating efficiency. Employment. 1929, average number DuPont employees, 42,000. December 1936, 53,000, an increase of 11,000 people. Wages and working conditions. Since 1929, 5-day week inaugurated in all DuPont plants and offices. 2-week vacation with pay extended to all employees, including factory workers. Despite shorter hours and 14% lower cost of living, average weekly earnings now above boom year. Total payroll 1929, $72 million. December 1936 rate, $94 million yearly. Perhaps you or members of your family would be interested in reading more about this record for 1936. Additional information on these phases of the DuPont Company's activities will appear in an article scheduled for publication in the March issue of the DuPont magazine, which is issued to business firms each month. We have had this article printed in folder form. You may have one of these advance copies by writing DuPont, Wilmington, Delaware. Please ask for the article entitled Better Things for Better Living, and kindly write your name and address legibly. Remember, mail your letter or card to DuPont, Wilmington, Delaware, and simply say, send me the article Better Things for Better Living. An ounce of prevention, the story of inoculation as first practiced in America as a smallpox preventive, will be the subject of the broadcast when next week at this same time, DuPont again presents the Cavalcade of America. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
You are listening to Golden Age Radio, rumble.com/C/GAR, brought to you by G3PL.com.
From Hollywood, California, the Lux Radio Theater presents W.C. Fields and Anne Shirley in Poppy.
Lux presents Hollywood. To the thousands of loyal listeners who wouldn't miss a Monday night with us, to the thousands of loyal women who insist on Lux Flakes, our grateful thanks. Your purchases of Lux Flakes make these programs possible. Our bill tonight is headed by W.C. Fields, Anne Shirley, John Payne, and Skeets Gallagher in Poppy. We'll also hear from Miss Margaret Graham of the Algie Barnes Self-Floater Circus, who tells us of customs, costumes, and superstitions of the circus. Louis Silvers conducts our orchestra. And now, here's our producer. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cecil B. DeMille. Greetings from Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen. Between the ages of 11 and 15, Mr. W.C. Fields, born Claude William Dukenfield, never slept on a real bed. He spent his nights under stairways, in box crates and doorways. Having no home, he'd become the idol of Philadelphia's other small boys. The toughest brats for miles around would seek him out for a fight. Fields never could refuse a challenge, and his bulbous nose is really a red badge of courage. It stands today as a radiant monument to the valor of its possessor and to the amazing accuracy of his opponent's fists. His fame as a juggler began with a $10 a week job at Atlantic City. Fields was part of a free entertainment, which the management staged to stimulate the sale of refreshments. When business was dull, he would wade into the surf, scream for help, and pretend to drown. Huge crowds would collect, and while the victim was being resuscitated, the refreshment business would flourish. It was not unusual for Mr. Fields to drown 3 or 4 times a day. To this day, his character remains unchanged. He is still Fields against the world, a strange combination of cynicism and sentiment, of stern truth and honeyed prevarication. Mr. Fields starred in Dorothy Donnelly's stage play Poppy, and also in the Paramount film from which comes our radio adaptation. His latest Paramount picture is the big broadcast of 1938, and we hear him tonight as Professor Eustace P. McGoggle. The title role will be played by that delightful young star, the versatile Anne Shirley. Anne is from RKO Studios, where her latest films are Law of the Underworld and Condemned Women. John Payne of Paramount Studios is Billy Farnsworth. Skeets Gallagher is heard as Whiffin. And we're off to the big show as the Lux Radio Theater presents W.C. Fields and Anne Shirley in Poppy. County Fairgrounds on the outskirts of a tiny Indiana town in the year 1881. At the end of the midway on a rickety platform stands a bulbous-nosed gentleman known as the Professor. In one hand he holds a decrepit banjo, in the other a quart bottle of purple bark sarsaparilla, guaranteed. With his old top hat riding perilously on the bridge of his nose, he leans down to the crowd and addresses them in a rasping baritone.
Now, step right up, ladies and gentlemen, close to the platform. Step out of the gutter, boy, and let the water run. You'll hear absolutely free of charge my charming daughter, Poppy, the flower of the song world, in a song recital, and I shall accompany her on that noble instrument, the Kadula Kadula. I thank you. It's my privilege and pleasure to introduce the most remarkable scientific discovery of modern times. Purple bark sarsaparilla, $1 a bottle. 4 quarters, 1 smacker. Purple bark sarsaparilla, ladies and gentlemen, the one cure. Remedy for man, the beast, fish, fowl. Grow hair on a billiard ball.
Will it grow hair in a pool ball?
All but the 8 ball.
It's a fake.
Now you impugn my honor.
So that's sawing a woman in half a fake. I saw her afterwards in a restaurant.
Yes, I did too. Well, you astound me. I thought they were killing from 8 to a dozen women a day.
Let me through here. Let me through. I want to see the man who sells that remedy.
Ah, that's fine. Let the lady through. How do you do? Lovely weather we're having. How many bottles? Quick.
None. I bought 1 bottle of that bile stuff from you yesterday.
Oh, so you did. And how's your Adam's apple today?
I never had an Adam's apple.
Oh, how unfortunate.
You sold me this stuff for my dyspepsia. I spilled a little on the floor last night, and my cat licked it up.
And this morning, expect to read it in your bulldog's eye. How interesting.
He's dead.
Overdose. He should have only taken a nip. Cat nip.
That medicine of yours killed him.
Just a moment. Step aside, young lady. Step aside. It cures hoarseness. Ladies and gentlemen, it cures hoarseness. It cures the most stubborn case of hoarseness. 1 little drop of this bottle, I guarantee, will cure the most cunning race. Oh. It cures hoarseness!
Sheriff, over this way. There he is, over
Dad,
here.
we better get out of here quick, Dad.
Quiet, dear. Ixnay, I can pray.
Sheriff!
But she's getting the sheriff. Come on, Dad.
He's only twitting, dear. Just have fun. I'll probably sell a bottle to the Gildersleeve.
Where is he? Point him out.
Look, Dad, she did get the sheriff.
There he is, Sheriff.
Hey, you!
He's coming over here.
Copy, my child.
What, Dad?
Take it on the lamb, my little fawn. The Bunyan steeplechase is on.
There they go.
Who's Craig?
Let's get him in.
Birds chirping in the trees. Flowers rearing their pretty little heads, shuffling their little feet, and singing by mere Mr. Shea.
Oh, Dad, look. Do you mind if we stop walking for a while? I'm so tired.
Oh, how thoughtless of me. Sit down, my little plum, and rest your pretty little bones. Here's a nice tin can for you. Sit on there.
Do you think we're safe here? Gee, Dad, I'm so hungry.
Courage, my daughter, courage. The Green Meadow Carnival is just around the bend.
What bend?
Ah, you have me there.
Look, here comes a wagon.
Yeah. Gilpin's hurrying to the carnival.
Yes, but they're riding and we're walking.
Walking is good. Shortens the appetite. Here. Chew on this piece of milkweed. It's full of calcium, good for the teeth.
Oh, no, thanks. Dad.
Huh?
Dad, why don't you reform?
Reform who?
Well, yourself. Say you're smarter than any other man I ever met. Why, if we could settle down in one of these little towns and get a house all our own, why, you'd own the whole town and most of the farms around it in 5 years.
You encourage me in the 5-year plan?
Oh, you know you could get it without stealing, too.
Steal? Like Robin Hood, I take from the rich and give to the poor.
What poor?
Us poor.
Us poor is right. Oh, Dad, I'm so sick of it. I'd like to be able sometime to look everybody straight in the face, and I'd scrub floors to do it.
How could you look anyone straight in the face when you're scrubbing floors? Dear?
Oh, Dad, please. We can't go on like this forever, just living from hand to mouth and sleeping in haystacks and dodging sheriffs.
Go on, taunt me. And when you see my emaciated body lying in the gutter, say to yourself, this is my work, and step over me.
Oh, darling, please forgive me. But those girls who passed us in that wagon, did you notice them?
One tried to give me the office, but I played her for a chill.
Oh. They look so happy and so pretty.
Poppy, someday I shall be rich, and you shall dress pretty, too. You shall have frocks and gowns of diaphanous silk, and you shall have a coach and four with gilded wheels, and flunkies and gold braid.
Yes, and just how are you going to get all this?
I hadn't thought about that. But where there's a will, there's a way. And pardon me, dear, just a touch of liver.
Dad, please listen to me. Oh, I know you mean well, but it isn't only for myself I want those things. It's for you, too.
You want me to wear frocks?
No, and it doesn't have to be a gilded palace either. Just a nice little place, something we can really call our own. You know, we've never had that. I know it hasn't always been easy for you, bringing me up all by yourself, but, oh, gee, we can do better. We can, Dad, if you'll just make up your mind to it. Will you, Dad? Dad?
Fill it up, barkeep. House up yourself. Make mine Scotch on rye.
Oh, Dad.
Arrived at last, my dear. The Green Meadow Carnival, they call it.
Yes, but we haven't any purple bark. You haven't got a concession, and we haven't a dime in our pockets.
Don't change a thing, dear. Leave it all to me.
Oh, gee, I'm so hungry.
Hungry, my child? There's a place right over there.
The sandwich stand? But, Dad, we haven't got any money.
Quiet, child.
Dad, listen, please. You can't get anything without not paying for it.
Proprietor! Where's the entrepreneur?
Dad, please.
Where is that fella? Drat cat. Entrepreneur, my good man.
Good morning.
A little service, please.
Oh, sure. What'll it be?
Give me 2 of those luscious bologna sandwiches. Sandwich show de la chaîne.
2 dogs coming up.
Dad, please.
Do you have a double, dear?
No, I don't want any.
Oh, that's fine. Make it 2 double.
All right, here you are.
Thank
20
you.
cents.
Thank you. You have mustard, Parmesan? Some mustard, please.
It's right in front of you. It's 20 cents for the dog.
Right in front of me. Oh, yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. No mustard?
Say, that's the best there is. If you don't like it, don't eat it. That's 20 cents.
20 cents. Is this really full? Just a horse really fresh?
Of course it's fresh. That'll be 20 cents.
Oh, delicious. Fresh on this horse radish, my friend. A little mayonnaise, my good man, and some cranberry sauce if you have it.
And now listen, you horseradish, or mustard, or mayonnaise, or cranberry sauce, it's costing you 20 cents.
20 cents, huh?
Yes, 20 cents.
Ridiculously cheap. Very reasonable. Remind me to pay you at the end of the engagement.
No, you don't. You pay me right now.
Wait, here, mister. You can have mine back.
Mine also. I refuse to do business with a man.
You tramp, you've eaten more than half of them. How do you expect me to sell these now?
First you insult me, then you ask my advice on salesmanship.
Oh.
Come, my little lamb,
Hey.
and you keep a civil tongue in your head, or you'll lose our trade.
Come back here, you. You'll fork over that 20 cents, or I'll take it out of your hide.
Unhand me, you wretch. Unhand me, I say, or I'll crush every bone in your head.
Come on, shell out.
You take your hands off him. Let him alone.
He's ripping my coat. Let me go my coat.
Let go your coat when you give me that 20 cents.
Oh, now you've done it, Eric.
Dad, what's the matter?
I'll pay for this.
Hey, what's the matter? I didn't do nothing. What's eating you?
It's broken my sacroiliac.
Huh?
My sacroiliac's broken in the
What's the matter here? Bring it up. Come on. What's the matter, Joe?
This guy here, boss, he wouldn't pay for the dogs, and now he says I broke his celiac or something.
The pain is excruciating.
Shut up.
Someone will pay for this and pay dearly.
I told you to shut up.
You know to whom you are addressing, young man?
I don't know who you are, but I happen to be the manager of this show.
Manager, eh? Oh. Someone will pay for this, and I think I know who.
All right, all right. How much do you want?
How much do I want, eh? Trying to bribe me. Very well. I'll take $10,000 in the concession. I should charge you $20,000. I always was an idiot where business was concerned.
I'll give you the concession and $10. Take it or leave it.
I'll take it.
Here. Your booth is at the end of the midway. Now, no shell games, no gambling of any kind or description. The mayor of this town is a very fussy guy.
No far fussier than I myself, I assure you.
All right, you can take over the concession any time you want.
Thank you. Very well, my little plum. It's just as I told you. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning.
Good morning. Ready to open up today?
Yes, we're just mixing up a fresh batch of sarsaparilla. Can you please tell me where I could get a pail of water?
Sure. There's a little stream right down the way. Let the pail down from the bridge. It's pretty clear right there.
Well, thank you very much. Hey!
Hey, look out!
Hey!
Get off the bridge! Whoa. Hey, you all right down there?
You knocked me into the stream.
Gee, I'm terribly sorry.
Don't you even speak to me.
Shame on you trying to commit suicide at your age. Think of your old father and mother. Think of me.
Yes, well, if I told you what I thought of you, I wouldn't be a lady.
Here, let me help you up.
Don't you touch me. Riding a horse that way across a bridge, you must be crazy.
Yes, come on.
No, and stop grinning at me like a silly ape.
By the mirror, I bet you'd grin, too. Do you have brown eyes, or is that just mud?
Why, you... Oh, gee, I guess I must look terrible.
You know, I fell into a stream once. Know what I did?
You went and dried off.
That's right. Look, There's an old swimming hole about 100 yards downstream. We always hang our suits on a tree there. My sister sort of fit you. You slip into it, and I'll put the nag away, and I'll see you there in about 10 minutes. All right?
Well, all right.
Swell. You can hang your dress up and let it dry out. See you soon. I've lived here all my life, except for the time I was in college.
Oh, gee, it must be nice living in a town like this. So quiet and peaceful. And then being able to come here whenever you want. I'd like that. Oh, it's so lovely here, isn't it?
Yeah, funny, I never noticed it before. To me, it's just been the swimming hole. Now it's all changed somehow. Your eyes aren't brown, are they? They're blue. They're pretty, too.
Well, thank you. I guess I ought to be getting back now.
Hey, wait. I don't even know your name.
It's Poppy.
Poppy. Gee, that's beautiful. My name's Billy Farnsworth. My father's the mayor of this town. I'm his son.
Well, that's a coincidence. Thank you so much for bringing me here.
Well, thanks for not being sore at me for pushing you off the bridge.
Well, it wouldn't do me much good.
Well, you could always sue, you know.
Yes.
The manager of the carnival was telling me about some old fake that tried to hold him up for $10,000 yesterday. Claimed he broke his arm. You could try that if you wanted to.
Could I?
Sure, I'd love to be sued by you. Then I could see you every day in court.
Maybe you'd find out I was a fake, too. Oh, excuse me.
What's the matter?
Nothing. I've just got to get back. Goodbye.
Hey, Poppy, wait.
Step right up, gentlemen. The fascinating scientific game of Find the Little Pea. I move the shells around the table so. Find the little pea and you win. Two'll get you 4'll get you 8. A boy can play as well as a man. It's the old army game.
30 cents says I can find the ball.
The gentleman bets 30 cents. Plunger, take a choice.
I say, let me see. It's under the middle one.
Lift it up and see.
Nope, it ain't.
As I live and breathe. I thought you had me that time. I fooled myself.
Here's your 30 cents.
Thank you. Who'll be the next to out with me? The classic game is no way a form of gambling.
Hey.
Game of fine.
Here comes the mayor.
What's that?
The mayor, he's coming over here.
Yes, my friends. I see him now. Yes, my friends, gambling is the root of all evil. And how well I know. Get rid of those shells. Get them out of here. For years, I was a victim of this horrible scourge. An unwilling pawn, caught in the toils of Beelzebub. Let it be a real lesson to you. Lead us in song, Sister Wolfinger.
Excuse me, sir. May I shake your hand, please?
Of course, sure.
We need more men of your kind in these traveling carnivals, sir. Men with a real message. Men of steel.
Steel, sir? Oh, yes, you're right. Pardon me.
Permit me to introduce myself. I'm Mayor Farnsworth.
Mayor, Your Honor, this is a surprise indeed. I am Dr. Eustace P. McGargle. F-A-S-N.
Well, go right ahead with the lecture, Doctor.
Sorry, I just finished. Half a ticket cold. Are you remaining on the grounds all afternoon?
No, I'm leaving at 4:30.
How unfortunate. My next lecture won't start till about 4:32.
Oh, excuse me. Dr. McGargle, I'd like you to meet Mrs. Tubbs.
How do you do, Doctor?
Mrs. Tubbs is one of our town's most solid citizens.
She looks it. I mean, how do you do? How do you do?
I heard part of your talk, Doctor, and I think it was just thrilling. I wish you'd come and call on me sometime.
Oh, I'd be delighted.
Oh, thank you.
Shall we go on, Mayor?
Oh, wait, Sarah. I want you to meet Dr. McGargle also. Dr. McGargle, this is Mrs. Sarah Brown.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Mrs. Brown was a great moral leader in our community.
Oh, a woman after my own heart.
I hope not.
Very good, Sarah.
Shall we go?
Yes. Well, good night, Doctor, and good luck.
Oh, thank you, man.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Scarcely have left the grounds before I shall be hard at it again.
Good night, Doctor. Don't forget, you're going to take me round the carnival.
Oh, I'll take you, yes. You bet I will. She's all dressed up like a well-kept grave.
10 cents says I can guess what shell it's under.
You still here? Go away.
My name's Whiffin.
What a pretty name. Go away, you draw flies.
Well, gee whiz, all right.
Wait a minute. Who is that fat lady we just here?
That's Mrs. Tubbs. She's a widow. Kind of dumb, I always thought.
I just wanted to check on my judgment. Good day, Miss Whiffen.
Of course, she's pretty rich.
Who's rich?
Mrs. Tubbs. Got her hands on most of the money in this town.
Is that so?
Yep, it was left to her in a will.
In a will, eh?
Yep, second cousin or something left it to her in a will.
That's very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Very interesting. Widow, eh?
Yep, widow. You, thinking of something?
Yes, I was, yeah. As an old blind aunt of mine used to say, where there's a will, there's prosperity just around the corner.
We've come to the intermission in our Lux Radio Theater. In just a moment, we'll go on with Act Two of Poppy, starring W.C. Fields and Anne Shirley. Now for our Between the Acts parlor game. Tonight, we have a couple of tongue twisters for you to try. We've asked two of the young ladies here in the Lux Radio Theater to try their luck, and they're right here beside me now. They think they're up to any tongue twisters we've got. Are you? Our first contestant is Miss Eleanor James, now of Hollywood, who came here from 1304 Paxton Avenue, Cincinnati, Ohio. Miss James, let's hear you say this 3 times. No wrinkles rankle like ankle wrinkles rankle.
No wrinkles rankle like ankle wrinkles rankle. No wrinkles rankle like ankle wrinkles rankle. No wrinkles rankle like ankle wrinkles rankle.
That's fine. But here's a wrinkle for every woman who is embarrassed by stockings that have that droopy look around the ankles. When you wash your stockings in Lux Flakes, they keep their shape and fit because they retain elasticity. For real stocking flattery, use Lux every time. And by way of thanking you, Miss James, here's a big economical box of Lux.
Oh, thank you very much.
And now for our second volunteer. She's Mrs. William Parker of Hollywood, who formerly lived at 615 Powell Street, San Francisco. Mrs. Parker, see if you can say this 3 times. Lux's luxurious, lustrous suds leave long-lasting elasticity.
Lux's luxurious, lustrous suds leave long-lasting elasticity. Lux's luxurious, lustrous suds leave long-lasting elasticity. Lux's luxurious, lustrous suds leave long-lasting elasticity.
That's not so bad. Lux's luxurious, lustrous suds leave long-lasting elasticity. When you use strong soap on your stockings, you weaken their elasticity. Rubbing with cake soap does this too. But Lux saves elasticity so stockings can give instead of breaking so often into runs. And now, Mrs. Parker, here's a big box of Lux Flakes with our compliments. Thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Now, our producer, Mr. DeMille.
We continue with Poppy, starring W.C. Fields and Anne Shirley. It's early the same evening, and Professor McGoggle has gone a-wooing. On the doorstep of Mrs. Tubbs' comfortable house, he adjusts his purple brocaded vest, flourishes a tattered handkerchief at his dusty shoes, and raps smartly on the door.
Dropping, 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 here those pennies fall. Everyone's for the professor, he will get them all and more too. What's the matter here? Everybody dead? Good evening, Mademoiselle Shrubs.
Why, Dr. McGoggle, what a pleasant surprise. Oh, come in, please.
Thank you.
Well, go right in the parlor, Dr. McGoggle. Welcome to my modest little cottage.
Oh, quite a charming lean-to you have here. Reminds me of my wiki-op on the Magogo River. Tributary to Lake Titicaca. Would you sit down, please?
Oh, well, thank you.
I hope you'll pardon my intruding at this hour, Mrs. Flubbs.
Tubbs.
Tubbs, yes, thank you. Well, I came on a mission of utmost delicacy.
Oh, something to do with charity, no doubt.
Well, yes and no and no. Nevertheless, I'm ashamed to come empty-handed. I had fully intended to bring you a basket of hollyhocks, but I couldn't buy up. They're out of season. I didn't want to bring you canned hollyhocks.
Oh, of course, I understand. Let me take your hand.
Oh, no trouble. I'll put it right here.
Oh!
Oh, what a Clumsy Japanese I am. I'm afraid I've broken your lovely vase.
Oh, it's all right. It's just some of the water spilling on the family album.
Now, here, let me dry it off.
Oh, water fades pictures, so it's horrid. Do you like water?
A little on the side. Give it to me. I'll dry it.
Oh!
Ah, the page is, this one's loose. This came out right in my hand.
Oh, well, it really doesn't matter.
Oh, you're too kind, Mrs. Dubb. I shall take this picture along with me and have a new print made first opportunity.
Oh, but you really don't have to.
Oh, say no more. Dismiss it. It's good as done.
Oh, well, if you insist. Oh, I'm rather proud of my album, you know. Such an old family.
Yes, so I say.
Are you interested in family albums,
They
Dr.
are the
McCardle?
fondest things I am of.
There are some very interesting things in this one.
I'm sure. Well. John L. Sullivan.
Oh, no. This is my old Aunt Anna. Isn't she sweet?
Oh. Yes, she is. She's very quaint. What biceps. What a teaser.
Oh,
Mrs. Krabs,
look, this one here. The man with the beard.
What's that? Well, of all things, if it isn't Cockeyed Mulligan.
I don't know who Mr. Cockeyed Mulligan is, Dr. McCardle, but this is a picture of my husband.
Oh, is that so? Oh, what a fine-looking old codger he is, too. I hope you pardon the mistake, Mrs. Dubb. I confused you with a man who used to work with me, work for me, rather, in the silver mine, gold and platinum mines I had up at Cohen's Gulf.
What?
Old Mulligan, the old stew. Finest fellow who ever lived. Hung before his time. He died before his time. Died young.
Oh, did you say you own gold and platinum mines?
Oh, did I? Yes, it might have slipped out.
Oh, well, that's very interesting.
Yeah, I always thought so myself. That's one of the things that brought me here tonight.
Really?
Yes. Mrs. Nubbs, when a man has spent his life at hard work, did I ever tell you the story of how Mulligan and I, pardon tear, dove off an escarpment of frigid ice into the Winnemucca River, each with a canoe under his arm?
Oh, how brave.
When we approached the opposite shore, we were confronted by 50,000 Skagway Indians.
Oh.
There they stood with their tomahawks raised high above their heads.
Oh.
Mulligan and I unsheathed our bowie knives and cut a path through this wall of human flesh, dragging our canoes behind us.
Oh, marvelous.
Well, anyway, nothing really. When a man has amassed his share of this world's goods, his heart turns to things of a more spiritual nature. He dreams of peace and security and a mellow old age in the company of...
Yes.
The woman I love.
Oh, Dr. McCardle.
Mrs. Trubb, has anyone ever told you you were beautiful?
Well, yes.
I knew they had. I knew they'd beat me to it. I knew it.
Oh, no, but wait. Before you go any further, Doctor, I think I ought to tell you.
Huh?
I shall never marry again.
Oh, you won't, eh? After leading me on.
What?
You can't take a man's heart and tear it to shreds. Making me look like a knave in the eyes of the world.
Oh.
Me with a grown daughter.
Oh, Daddy.
Why, it's a clear case of breach of promise.
What?
Women. A mere pawn in the clutches of an adventuress.
Oh, the idea. Oh, Dr. McCardle,
Yes, sir, Professor. That's mighty fine stuff you got there, and mighty fine of you to invite me over, too.
Oh, not at all. Here, have another lager. Sure. Mr. Whiffen, drink deep of the brimming bowl.
It's kind of hot, ain't it?
Can't hurt you. Purple box sarsaparilla. My own private batch. 98% spirits fermenti, 2% sweetener. We're talking about Mrs. Mubbs, I believe.
You mean Mrs. Tubbs, yes. She has plenty of money, though it ain't rightfully hers.
It isn't there. How come?
Well, the whole caboodle of this estate belongs to Catherine Putnam, if she can be found.
Oh, missing heiress, eh?
Yep, been gone for 20 years, ever since she fussed with her father. She ran off with the circus. That left Mrs. Kind, Mrs. Tubbs next of kin.
Millions molding in the bank, eh? I'd like to do something for that poor, unfortunate soul. If I get my hands on that money, I could double it in a fortnight.
If you could get your hands on it, but nobody can, but nobody's going to either, until they find out what's become of Mrs. Catherine Putnam and her daughter.
Daughter, eh?
Yep, she had a baby.
How old would you be about now?
Oh, let me see now. Figure times figure is figure 3 times 18, the best of my recollection.
18, eh? Just about Poppy's age.
That's right.
And if that daughter, Catherine Putnam's daughter, if she could be found, she'd inherit the whole estate, eh?
Yep. Thinking of something?
Yeah, no, of course, no. Well, good night, friend, and I think I can call you my friend.
Oh, no, you don't. You're figuring on something. I can read you like a book. And if I was you, I wouldn't try to pass off my daughter as Catherine Putnam, unless I had expert advice. Am I in?
My dear man.
Am I in?
Do you suppose I would try to prove that I married Catherine Putnam? Do you suppose I would try to fake a marriage certificate? Do you suppose I would say that my daughter is not my own flesh and blood, but Catherine Putnam's daughter? Do you suppose I would do all this for the sake of filthy lucre?
Yes, I do.
Oh, all right, then. You're in.
What do you say, Poppy? Once around again?
All right, I'll get the brass ring this time.
Then we've got to get off. I want to speak to you, Poppy.
All right, Billy. Gee, that was fun, Billy. Thank you a lot.
Fun. A girl like you been around carnivals all your life, and you still get a kick out of a wooden horse. I can't understand it.
Well, I guess I feel like you did. You know about the swimming hole. Oh, I never knew it was such fun before.
Poppy, you've forgiven me, haven't you? Well, for what I said the other day about...
Oh, of course I have. You didn't know, and, well, anyway, I guess part of it's true.
No, but it isn't. Why, well, he's a swell guy.
Oh, he is a swell guy.
Poppy, do you still feel the same? I mean about, well, wanting to settle down in a little town like this.
Well, I guess so. Why?
Well, I could fix it.
You?
Sure.
But how?
Well, all you have to do is just stay here. Stay here and marry me.
Billy! Oh, but you don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, I do. I mean it. It just struck me all of a sudden, Poppy, but honest, I mean it, like I never meant anything in my life.
Oh, Billy, you're so sweet, but... Oh, I couldn't do it. I couldn't leave Dad to go roaming all over the country by himself. He's getting an awful lot of trouble without me.
No. Well, then it's hopeless, huh?
I'm afraid so.
Yeah, well, it's a good idea.
Billy, look, maybe someday.
What?
Maybe someday we'll come back this way, and if I do, and if things are different, well, they may be different. You never can tell.
Oh, sure you can, Poppy. Poppy, would you give me something to keep until you do come back? I know it sounds silly, but I really want it.
All right. I'll give you the only thing I've got, Billy. I know it isn't much, but it's something. Here. It's this locket. I've had it ever since I was a kid. It's only a baby's locket, but, well, it's gold anyway.
Oh, thanks, Poppy.
Right up here, Mayor. The professor's temporary quarters.
You say you're positive that Dr. McGargle was married to Catherine Putnam after she left home?
That's right, Mayor.
Sounds awful fishy to me.
Here we are. Good morning, Doctor.
Mr. Whiffen, good morning.
Dr. McGargle, I brought Mayor Farnsworth to see you.
Oh, Your Honor, I trust you're fit this effulgent AM.
Good morning, Doctor.
Mayor Farnsworth wants to ask you a few questions.
Oh, proceed, Your Honor.
Yes. Doctor, what was your wife's maiden name?
My wife. You refer to Catherine?
No. The family name. Was it by any chance Putnam?
I'll be candid with you, Mayor. It was. But she rarely used it. A misunderstanding in the family.
Mayor Farnsworth is the sole trustee of the Putnam estate.
That's so. Very interesting. Very interesting.
Yes. Mr. Whiffen tells me your wife passed away several years ago.
Yes, poor dear. She was killed in Upper Sandusky. Run over by a pie wagon. One of those hit and gallop away drivers. One of the horses, a gray mare, sway back, Dabo.
Never mind the horse. Describe your wife.
Name was... Huh? Huh? Oh, yes, my little pride of yesteryear, pardon me. My pigeon. My little kitty pie.
What was her approximate weight?
Well, she fought as a welterweight. She varied from time to time. She dieted frequently, you know. You'd have to catch her on the scale.
Well, what was her average weight?
Average weight, let me see. It's just slipped my mind for the nonce.
Well, was it 100 pounds, 200 pounds?
What did you say, Mr. Whiffen?
Nothing. Got a little cough, that's all.
Try some of this pine tar elixir. Your cough intrigues me.
Well, Dr. McGargle, 100 or 200?
I would say offhand, 100 or 200 pounds. I never watched her closely on the scale.
Well, 100 pounds seems to check. Now, tell me, what about her height?
Oh, you mean how tall was she?
Yes.
Oh. Yes. Now, let me see. Your mind works so quickly, Mayor.
What's this? What?
Nothing, Your Honor. Let me see now. How tall was she? Oh, yeah. She was 8 feet tall.
8 feet?
Pardon me. Now, this is all very distressing. I was thinking of a piece of land I bought, 8 by 16, up in Cucamonga. Had a very fine view of the ocean.
Well, how tall was she?
I got you. She was 5 feet 3 inches in her silk stocking. A fraction shorter than her bare feet, of course.
Yes. Well, we've been searching for Catherine Putnam for years now.
You see, Doctor, if Catherine died without leaving any children, the whole estate goes to Mrs. Tubbs.
Oh, yes, Mrs. Tubbs.
But you have a daughter, Doctor.
True. Potential heiress to my vast copper interests on the shores of Lake Titicaca. High up in the Andes.
Tell me, Doctor, had your wife any distinguishing marks? Any birthmarks?
Birthmarks. No, she never slept in a berth. She preferred the smoking room. We always played blackjack for chewing tobacco.
Uh-huh. Catherine Putnam had a mole on her left ear.
Did, eh?
Yes, she did.
That was when you knew her. I removed it later with purple pox sarsaparilla.
Oh, I see. Well, have you any other proofs?
Nothing at all. Oh, yes, I have a photograph of her. Taken in her teens in the mud bath of the manor house up at Punxsutawney. Now, where did I put that? She loved those mud baths. I had that around here if I have to mislay that. Oh, what's this? Oh, here, yes. This is our marriage license, which, of course, can be of no interest to anyone.
What? Let me see that.
Careful, please.
A marriage license. Doctor, do you know the value of this document?
Only that it is very near and dear to me.
By this, your daughter becomes the heiress to the Putnam fortune.
You overwhelmed me. What a coincidence that I should have carried it all these years. And now it serves to bring more untold wealth and happiness to my little plum.
I congratulate you, Doctor. Your daughter's a very lucky girl.
Thank you. You've been a great help, Your Honor.
I've always known that someone would come along to claim the Putnam fortune, but I've always been afraid of imposters. Thieves.
Oh, these terrible creature. I avoid them like I do whiskey.
No, we would have caught anyone who tried it. Yes, sir. We'd have given them 20 years at hard labor.
I know you might catch them all right. But the hard labor would be a bit difficult, I'm afraid.
That's right. But we've been spared that, Dr. McGargle.
I'm very happy for all concerned.
Yes, the Putnam fortune is in good hands. I'm sure of it. Well, I'll go and see about transferring the estate.
Good day. Good day, Your Honor. Good day. What a man. What a brain, if any.
We pause for station identification. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
We've lowered the curtain on the second act of Poppy. Before starting Act 3, we spend this short intermission with a real-life character from the Big Tops and Sawdust Circles, such as we encounter in Poppy. Our guest is Miss Margaret Graham, wardrobe mistress of the Al G. Bond Sells Floto Circus. Now, if I were visiting you, Miss Graham, in your tent at the circus, instead of you visiting us in the Lux Radio Theater, would you take me for a rube?
Yes, Mr. DeMille, because you'd probably ask me the 4 questions everybody asks anybody with a circus. Where did you come from? Where do you go from here? How long does an elephant live? And why are performing horses always white?
And what would be your answers?
Well, I came from winter quarters at the Baldwin Park, California. In 3 weeks, we leave on our tour, and we don't stop moving until the last of October. An elephant lives to be about 100, because that's as good an answer as any. And horses are white, because white doesn't show the rosin sprinkled on the back, of course, to keep the riders from slipping. Pardon me. What else would you like to know?
Oh, that's all satisfactory except the age of the elephant. Now, how did you join the circus?
Well, I started off with the Wild West show of Buffalo Bill as a rider way back in 1911. But my riding days are over, and I've sort of settled down to the less hazardous occupation of wardrobe.
No, less hazardous, perhaps, but equally interesting, I'm sure. Tights and spangles have spelled circus since time immemorial.
There's a lot more to it than tights and spangles, Mr. DeMille. When the circus gets to town, I have my own wagon drawn by 4 elephants to bring the costumes from the train to the wardrobe tent. We can't take any risks of costumes not being ready or not looking exactly right. And that's why I won't let anything but Lux flake and water touch our fine suits and dresses and Spanish laces. And I'm not the only one who uses Lux either. It's part of a circus tradition that every trapeze artist furnish her own silk tights. They're very fussy about tights, and tights are very fussy things themselves. And if you would like, into my wardrobe tent any night after the show is over, you see those high-paid girls washing their own tights in Lux flake. They won't let me do it for them.
A bit finicky, eh?
Well, it's one of the circus customs, and believe me, we have plenty of them.
You're not superstitious, Miss Graham.
Not superstitious, just careful. For example, I'd never think of whistling in a dressing room because that would mean that the girl whose trunk is nearest the entrance would get fired.
What happens if you hadn't intended to whistle but suddenly found out that you had?
I'd get out of the tent as fast as I could, turn around 3 times, and then come in. That makes everything all right again.
I see. Not superstitious, just careful. Any other things that are bad?
Plenty. For example, in a circus, no one in a circus would dream of playing a harmonica. That means an accident. This year, Joe, our trained chimpanzee, is going to play the harmonica in a new act, and while he isn't human, he's close enough to have all pretty much on edge. You'll never see a yellow costume worn on a Friday. Any other day, it's all right, but on Friday, it's just begging for bad luck, and nobody traveling with a circus would think of owning one of those old-fashioned camelback trunks.
What's wrong with a camelback trunk?
They're a sure sign that we'll have bad weather all season. And if a newcomer does know, why, anybody has a perfect right to throw the trunk off the train. And now, Mr. DeMille, let me wish you and Lux Radio Theater red days with plenty of straw and no dookie runs.
Thank you, but what's that mean?
Red days with plenty of straw means nice weather and a full house, and no dookie runs means that you'll always come in according to schedule. In other words, the best of luck.
Thank you, Miss Graham.
Thank you.
And plenty of straw to you. Now for the third act of Poppy with W.C. Fields and Anne Shirley. The news of Poppy's good fortune has spread rapidly around the town. On the strength of the wealth that will soon be his daughter's, the professor has blossomed forth in a beautiful new pea-green suit. As he strolls down the main street, he's greeted by admirers on every side.
Morning. Morning, Professor.
Morning, my good man.
Morning, Doctor.
Morning, friend.
Planning to fix up the Putnam estate much, Professor?
Somebody said you was figuring on selling it.
Yeah, what about it, Doc?
Gentlemen, I have already granted the Green Meadow Gazette a full interview on all matters pertaining to my daughter's inheritance. Therefore, I should not care to make any premature oral announcement for fear of misquoting myself. But I may tell you there will be a formal dance and clam bake and possibly a baseball game at the Putnam House. in the very near future to celebrate my daughter's newfound wealth. And you are invited one and all. Try to get in.
Hey, Professor, I want to see you.
Good morning, Mr. Whippen. Sorry I'm in such a hurry. May be able to squeeze you in for a few moments later on in the season.
Oh, you know you don't, Professor. I said I wanted to speak to you, and I'm a-going to.
And I said, Mr. Whippen, that I was in a hurry.
You ain't been in such a hurry to let me have some of that money you've been owing me for the last week or so, you know. Get my hands on it.
Oh, quiet. I'll see you some other time.
No, you'll see me right now, and if you don't, I'll publish your double dealings all over this community.
Shut up, I tell you. Shut up. If there's been any double dealings, my friend, I dare say you've had your finger in it. You hold on.
What's up, Doc? Yeah, what's the matter?
And if you annoy me further, I shall summons a constable.
Oh, no, you won't.
Cease, or I shall smite you upon the sconce with this truncheon. You lug. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Make a day of it.
Oh, Billy, I still can't believe it. It isn't true. It can't be.
Well, if it isn't, you're certainly feeding the whole town for nothing. Look at them. They'll have that buffet supper cleaned up before it's even time to dance.
Oh, well, let them. I want them to be happy, too. Just as happy as I am.
You've got everything you want, Poppy.
Oh, more than everything, Billy. But, you know, I don't want to take it all. I want to give half to Mrs. Tubbs.
But, Poppy, I don't...
No, I wouldn't feel right if I didn't.
Good evening, Poppy.
Oh, Mrs. Brown.
How are you, Billy?
I'm fine, Aunt Sarah.
I'm so glad you could come, Mrs. Brown.
Do you think I'd miss it, my dear? I've been a friend of Billy's too long to miss the announcement of his engagement.
Engagement?
Oh, dear, I suppose I've let the cat out of the bag again.
You certainly have. Poppy, your father's going to announce our engagement tonight. You don't mind, do you?
Mind?
Of course she doesn't. You're getting a fine boy, Poppy, and he's getting a very sweet girl.
Oh, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, as mayor of Green Meadows, it is my privilege at this time to introduce to you a man who needs no introduction. I give you that great entertainer, that kindly and lovable character, Dr. Eustace P. McGargle, F.A.S.F.
I thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I shall play for you this evening the first motive of the Dujity from the opera Schreckenstadt by Gilke Kimmel and Ossip P. Bedapole on my beloved Cadula. But before I do, I want to introduce to you the marvel of the scientific age, Purple Bark Sarsaparilla.
Dad, no.
Oh, I beg your pardon, dear. I beg your pardon. I'm awful sorry. What a faux pas. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. I have a very important announcement. Soon, ladies and gentlemen, in this very room in which you stand, two of the oldest families in Indiana will be joined by wedlock. I refer to the family Farnsworth and the house of McGargle.
Stop it, I say.
Yeah, what's the matter? What's the matter? Who are you? What's the matter?
What's the matter with me?
Mr. Whippen, what's the meaning of this?
Your Honor, before this goes any further, I want you to know that this man, the father of the girl who's to be your daughter-in-law, is one of the biggest swindlers that ever come down the pike.
What's that?
Man's mad. He's a dildo. He belongs in the nut bag.
Mr. Whippen, you'll have to support those remarks.
I'll support them all right. You got that marriage certificate he gave you?
Yeah, right here in my pocket.
Well, take a look at it. That certificate is a forgery.
What?
Yep, and I can prove it. He claims this paper was made out in 1863. You see that watermark there? Plain as the bones in your hand, 1881.
Oh, I've been framed. I've been swindled. Get a lawyer.
Dr. McGargle, explain this at once.
I shall explain it. Have no fear. I shall have my attorney here first thing in the morning. Poppy, take it on the lamp.
Stop that man.
Stop the man.
Poppy. Oh, don't cry, Poppy.
Let me alone, please.
Run along, Billy. I'll take care of her. Come, Poppy. You're going home with me. Poppy, dear, don't cry anymore. And don't worry about him. He'll be all right. Oh, they never made an arrest in this town except by mistake.
Oh, why did he do it? Why?
Oh, I guess he just didn't know any better.
But he does. He's smart, really. Honest he is. Who's that?
No, I'll answer it. You stay here.
Good evening, Miss Brown.
Oh, Dad.
May I step in for a moment?
Yes, get in before somebody sees you.
Oh, Dad, I was so worried. You came back for me.
I have to say goodbye, my baby. I have been eluding the local band of assassins all evening. I saw the light in this modest cottage, and looking in the window, I spied you, my little plum.
Oh, Dad, please, you've got to hide. What'll you do if they find you?
About 20 years.
If you're lucky.
Quite true.
Oh, Dad, you can't. You've got to get away now. Come on, dear, I'll go with you.
No, my baby, you must stay here.
But I don't want to. I want to be with you. You're my father.
My plum, I can't lie to you any longer. I'm not your father.
What?
No, my baby.
Oh, Dad, you're lying. You don't know what you're saying.
It's the truth. I found you with the circus when you were 3 years old. Listen, the bloodhounds are on us. I must go.
Oh, but Dad.
Here, my plum. I empty my pockets for you. Take this worldly goods, $3 in cash, the shell game, and some private paper. They're all I have.
Dad, you can't leave now.
I must, dear. Goodbye, my plum, and bless you. And one word of fatherly advice before I go.
Yes, Dad.
Poppy, never give a sucker an even break. If you ever wish to join me, telegraph me in case of the Ice Palace, Montreal.
Oh, he's gone, and I'll never see him again.
Poppy, dear, perhaps it's all for the best.
Oh, no, how can you say that? Oh, I don't care if he was my real father or not. He's the only one I've ever known.
Well, he didn't leave you very much, my dear. A shell game. That'll be a help. And a photograph. Ooh, looks like it's been torn out of some album. Poppy, what is this?
What?
This picture. Where did he get it?
I don't know.
Do you know who this is? It's a picture of Catherine Putnam. And that's her little girl right there, see? She was just a baby.
Well, are you sure?
Well, of course I'm sure. I'd know Catherine Putnam. She was one of my best friends. And that little locket around the baby's neck, I gave it to her at her christening.
Why, I have a locket like that.
Where?
I gave it to Billy. It's shaped just like this one.
Wait, did you open it?
Well, open it? I didn't know it opened.
There's a picture in it, a picture of Catherine Putnam's baby. It was cut down from this one here. If the picture in that locket is the same as this one...
Then if it is...
Oh, come on, quick.
Where are we going?
We've got to find the mayor, and we've got to find Billy, and we've got to find that locket. And here's the picture. He had it in his pocket, Mayor. Where he got it, I don't know.
That's Catherine Putnam, all right. And that's her baby.
Now, wait, Billy. Billy, have you got that locket?
Here it is.
Open it, Billy.
Give it to me. Look, the picture in the locket. It's the same as the other.
Then...
Oh, you are Catherine Putnam's daughter and the rightful owner of the estate.
This proves it, beyond a doubt.
Go on inside, Professor. Unhand me, you flat-footed Gildersleeve, or I'll kick you in the shin.
Dad!
I got him, Mayor. He tried to escape on a stolen horse. It was my horse he stole.
Oh, Dad, what happened?
The fortunes of war, my plum. I never did think much of that horse. And he dropped dead right in front of the police station.
Mayor, you've got to release him right now.
Of course, my dear. Constable, take those handcuffs off of him.
What?
Go on. You can't arrest a man for stealing a dead horse.
Certainly not. What's the matter? Is everybody crazy?
Oh, Dad, listen. Darling, I've got the most wonderful news for you. I'm really an heiress.
Sure. You're getting smart now.
No. Dad, look. I'm really Catherine Putnam's daughter. We just proved it.
What, Catherine? Why, of course you are, my plum. I knew it all along.
And why didn't you say so?
If you remember, my dear fellow, I did say so, and you're going to give me 20 years. Well, I must say goodbye.
Goodbye? What for?
The carnival is moving, dear, and I'm moving with it.
Oh, no, Dad, no.
Yeah, there's no place for me here, but I'll come and see you, if I may. I shall come on Sundays for chicken dinner.
Dad, please, we want you to live with us.
No, my plum, not a word. This is where you belong, my little baby. You'll be happy. And I could never feel happy or natural unless there was a copper at least 100 yards behind me.
Oh, Dad, I love you.
I love you, Poppy. Goodbye, my little plum.
And that is the end of Poppy. Mr. Fields and Miss Shirley will rejoin us presently. Meanwhile, Melville Ruick wants to give you another of his strange but true facts. Mr. Ruick.
Do you know that the average mother, according to a recent estimate, washes nearly 28,000 dishes and over 26,000 pieces of silver every year? More than 54,000 pieces. And that's just for the 3 regular meals every day. It doesn't include any special meals or entertaining, nor cooking utensils and dishes used round the kitchen. Now, that's a lot of dishes to wash every year. And your hands are bound to suffer if you aren't careful about the soap you use. Yet thousands of women who do their own dishwashing keep their hands lovely and soft. They use Lux Flakes because they've found Lux gives them a real dishpan beauty treatment. Lux is so gentle that it doesn't dry the beauty oils that keep hands young-looking and beautiful. Why not begin right away to use Lux for your dishes? Buy Lux Flakes tomorrow. Be sure to get the large box. It's even more economical that way. Now, Mr. DeMille.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this ring you are about to witness one of the most dazzling and electrifying exhibits ever countenanced by man. It is known to science as the probatus felium, and to the world in general as the nose that launched 1,000 quips. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen, accompanied by W.C. Fields and Anne Shirley.
Thank you. Thank you, but let's be informal. Just please call me Whitey.
Did you ever really travel with a circus?
Oh, yes, Anne. I once lent my services to a peregrinating mountebanks. I was with him for a brief sabbatical. He made me valet de chambre to the elephant.
You mean you packed its trunk?
Yes, I'll never forget my first day under the big top. The wardrobe mistress handed me a uniform, a dazzling creation of red and gold. The gold was counterfeit.
Did it fit you, Mr. Fields?
It fit me fine, Mr. DeMille, but it required every ounce of strength in my frame to get it on that elephant. Her name was Gertrude.
Go on, please. What happened then?
I recall one beautiful afternoon as I was sitting in front of Gertrude's stall when a little nipper ambled up, a child, Annie, with a bag of peanuts. The little wretch pointed at my nose and said, "Look, Mama, this elephant talks." Did my face turn red?
But, Mr. Fields, don't you know that anything washed in Lux never changes color? Might I recommend that you dip your nose, into a noggin of those beautiful Lux suds?
Madam, do you, too, wish to impugn my honor? I shall be heckled no more. Mr. DeMille, I bid you good night.
Gargle like a true McSpoken. Spoken like a true McGargle. Good night, Mr. DeMille, and thank you.
Good night, Anne. Good night, Professor Malone. To our stage next Monday night comes the exciting two-fisted drama of a man's fight for power and wealth. Force is the only law he respects. By force he wins success and a wife. By force he loses both, until he finally learns that there's another law in life, called love. Our play is titled The Boss. It was written by Edward Sheldon and proved a great hit on Broadway. It brings back to our microphone 3 superb Hollywood artists, Edward Arnold, Fay Wray, and H.B. Warner. Our sponsors, the makers of Lux Flakes, join me in inviting you to be with us again next Monday night when the Lux Radio Theater presents Edward Arnold, Fay Wray, and H.B. Warner in The Boss. This is Cecil B. DeMille saying good night to you from Hollywood.
Heard in our play tonight were Steve Gallagher as Griffin, John Payne as Billy Wadsworth, Helena Grant as Mrs. Tubbs, Lou Merrill as Mayor Farnsworth, Gretchen Thomas as Sarah Brown, and W.L. Thorne as manager of circus. Louis Silvers appeared for courtesy of 20th Century Fox Studios, where he directed music for the new picture Sally, Irene, and Mary. John Payne will be seen shortly in the Paramount film College Swing. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
You are listening to Golden Age Radio, rumble.com/C/GAR. Brought to you by G3PL.com.
The secret word tonight is heart. H-E-A-R-T.
Really?
You bet your life. The more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. Ladies and gentlemen, on Thursday, November 13th, your DeSoto Plymouth dealer will put on display for the first time what we honestly believe to be the most beautiful car ever built, the distinguished 1953 DeSoto. We'll have more to say about this exciting news in a few minutes. And here he is, the one, the only...
You'll have to speak to my campaign manager. Oh, that's me. Well, here I am again with $2,000 for one of our couples.
We have a housewife for you, Groucho.
You have, eh?
Yes, she was selected from our audience just before we went on the air.
Oh, how nice.
And her partner is a man with an interesting occupation, Mr. Louis Spinner. Folks, come on in and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, welcome, welcome for the DeSoto Dealers. Say the sacred word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you always have with you. And now then, what have we here? A beautiful, bewitching creature. That's what we have. That's a real charmer. Tell me, are you married?
Oh, yes.
I wasn't speaking to you. I was speaking to Mr. Spinner over here. Mr. Spinner, you're one of the most beautiful little charmers I've ever seen. You know, you look like a little like Adlai Stevenson.
I've been told that quite often. My customers call me the portable Stevenson.
The portable Stevens?
I'm kind of sewed off.
Oh. Well, are you planning on any whistle stops or anything?
I didn't even make up my mind yet which way I am going to vote.
Well, that's a very canny answer. What is your name?
Angel Maria Masco Sotelo.
Would you mind repeating that?
Angel Maria Masco Sotelo.
Well, let me know when you stop at Dallas. Angel Mario...
Masco Sotelo.
Masco Sotelo. You got enough names there for a whole law firm. You know that? Or don't you know that?
Oh, yes, I do.
You do. What does your husband call you?
Angel.
Oh, Angel, huh?
Yes.
Oh, you play at Wrigley Field? So he calls you Angel? Well, what's good enough for your husband is certainly good enough for me. Mr. Adlai, where are you from?
I'm from Győr, Hungary.
No, not very. I just had dinner. Now, cut out the nonsense. Where are you from?
Győr, that's halfway between Budapest and Vienna. It's a whistle stop on the Orient Express line.
A whistle stop on the Orient Express line, huh? And, Angel, what is your hometown?
Well,
Are you sure you're married?
Yes, I am.
Oh.
Sure. It's a beverage. It's a small town in the northern part of France, and it's situated 250 kilometers from Paris, 4 hours by train.
Mm-hmm. Would you mind telling us how old you are, Angel?
Yes, I'm 27 years old.
27 years old? Well, how old are you when you're in the service? Now, Mr. Spinner, let's get back to you for a while. Huh? You say you're from Hungary. Huh?
That's right.
What did you do in Hungary?
I studied law.
Oh, and are you practicing law now?
No.
Why not?
Well, when I came to this country, I found that there was no urgent need for Hungarian lawyers here.
Well, that's ridiculous. Suppose you were being sued by a Hungarian. I know every time I've been sued, it was by a Hungarian.
We don't sue each other, we fight it out.
Oh. Do you know how they make an omelet in Hungary? Do you know that?
Well, we don't call it omelet, we call it palacsinta.
Well, no matter what you call it, there's an old recipe, a Hungarian recipe.
How?
Where they say in Hungary, when you want to make an omelet, the directions go, it says, first you steal 2 eggs.
That's a true recipe.
Don't laugh on the point, you know, if you could laugh while I'm talking first. In Hungary, when you want to make an omelet, the recipe says, first you steal 2 eggs. I guess they heard it the first time. Well, you're an interesting couple, and I hope you win a reasonable amount of money here tonight. Now, in just 1 minute, you're going to play You Bet Your Life for a chance at the $2,000 question. Right now, here's a beautiful young lady with news about another beauty, the 1953 DeSoto.
Hello,
Hello, this is Wendy Barry. And right now I want you to get a pencil and mark down this date, November the 13th. You got it? Thursday, November the 13th. That's a wonderful day. That's the day the stunning new 1953 DeSoto goes on display at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers. I've sneaked in and seen this new DeSoto, and really I think it's the most beautiful car ever built. No matter how you look at this new DeSoto, inside or out, it's perfectly beautiful. Outside, it's longer, lower, and lovelier than you ever thought a car could be. And inside, well, it's as lovely as my favorite living room. They won't let me tell you any more about this beautiful new car, but you can see it for yourself. Just be sure and be at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers on Thursday, November the 13th, the day the distinguished new 1953 DeSoto goes on display for the very first time. Oh, I'm going to be on You Bet Your Life television sometime soon, along with this beautiful 1953 DeSoto. So watch for us, won't you?
All right, now let's see how you work together as a team. Fight on, Fenneman?
I'm here.
Explain the rules.
All right, you bet as much of your $20 as you want on each of 4 questions. And the couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the $2,000 DeSoto Plymouth question later on in the show.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. Out of our list of 20 categories, you selected number 5, familiar Latin expressions. Well, here's your first question. How much will you bet?
1999.
1999.
Save a penny.
What is the Latin expression that means solid earth?
Terra firma.
Terra firma is right.
Well, you're on your way. You have $39.99.
Remember, you're going for $2,000 tonight. How much of this vast sum are you going to try this time?
Bet it all.
All?
Save a penny. Save a penny.
Save a
rainy
penny.
days.
Okay. What is the Latin expression that means privately or secretly or in confidence?
Sub rosa.
Sub rosa is right.
You now have $79.97.
They have that much?
Yes.
Well, land sakes. Here's your third question. How much will you bet?
How much do we have?
You have $79.97.
79.96.
79. Is that all right with you?
Yes, I guess so.
Mademoiselle?
Oui.
Oui, yeah. Well, we too. Well, what is the Latin expression that means endless or without limit?
Infinite.
That's right. Ad infinitum, we call it.
You now have $159.93.
And here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much will you bet?
Shoot the works.
Shoot the works?
Yeah.
What is the Latin expression that means one out of many? It is the motto of the United States.
E pluribus unum.
E pluribus unum is right.
You wind up with a grand total of $319.86.
Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
We invited some businesswomen to the program tonight, and just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Miss Martha Gallagher. Her partner, also from our studio audience, is Mr. Alan Palmer. Folks, would you come in and meet Groucho Marx?
Well, welcome. Welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you always have with you. Alan Palmer and Martha Gallagher, eh? Where are you from, Martha?
I was born in Waco.
Waco? And may I ask how old you are, Martha?
25.
Are you married?
No.
Now you're talking. Alan Palmer.
That's right.
That's you. Are you married?
Oh, yes.
Who cares, huh? Where are you from, Mr. Palmer?
Passaic, New Jersey.
Passaic, huh? I know it very well. That's just a hop, skip, and a jump from Trenton, isn't it?
No, it's about 60 miles.
Well, it was a hop, skip, and a jump for me. I hopped a train, skipped town, and jumped bail. Alan, did you come to California direct from Passaic?
No, I was in New York for about 30 years.
You stopped off in New York for 30 years? What's the matter? Couldn't you find your suitcase? Those train connections in New York can be pretty bad sometimes. You must have been on the Long Island Railroad, weren't you? What were you doing in New York?
Well, I was growing up, went to school, got married, and had 2 children.
What a novel way to spend time between 2 trains. Now, Martha, since you're not married, I presume you have some other visible means of support, huh?
Yes.
Let's see. What sort of work do you do?
I'm a geologist.
Please, no politics in this program. What's a geologist?
Well, a geologist is a sort of scientist who studies
the mineralogy and the petrology and the structure and the paleontological evidences and the materials of the earth and interprets them.
Could you make it simple? You know, you're not talking to a 10-year-old out here.
Well,
What do you actually do?
we study the Earth's crust.
Oh, well, I've got plenty of that. Why do you study the Earth's crust, Daddy? Oh, Mama. Martha?
Well, to find out the mineralogy and the petrology and the structural.
Back to that again, eh? Let's skip the whole thing and we'll all go back to Passaic, shall we? Now, who do you work for, Martha?
I work for Bankline Oil Company.
Oh, I see. And what do you do for them?
Well, I study the geology and...
This whole thing is becoming strangely familiar to me. It all seems like a dream.
I draw up a picture to tell the company where to drill a well.
In other words, you make oil paintings, is that it? What sort of work do you do, Al?
Well, I'm a locksmith.
Oh, you mean you went to Yale?
No.
A locksmith, huh? How did you happen to get into the locksmith business?
Well, when I was a kid, I used to like to take things apart and try to put them back together again.
Have you ever picked locks?
Oh, yes. All the
I
time.
picked locks the other day. I was at a party and they were serving cheese sandwiches and lock sandwiches. And I picked locks because I don't like cheese sandwiches. And for those who don't know, locks is a fish that got red in the face from swimming up the Columbia River. What kind of jobs are you called upon to perform, Al?
Well, all types, emergency lockouts of homes, cars.
Has anything embarrassing ever happened to you, like locking yourself out of your own house?
No, but I was called to help a woman out of the bathroom that she locked herself in.
She locked herself in a tub?
No, in the bathroom.
Oh, I see.
And she kept yelling, when you get the door open, don't look, I haven't got any clothes on.
Well, very few people are dressed when they're in a bathtub. Occasionally, some of them wear a hat, that's all. Well, don't keep us in suspense, Al. Did you look?
No. Besides, she had a towel wrapped around her.
How do you know if you didn't look, Mr. Don't you think he's in a more interesting profession than you are, Martha?
I imagine he is.
Let's get earthy again. As a geologist, tell me, what's the latest date?
That's a pretty old one.
Well, I agree with you, Martha, but when you're talking to a geologist, sometimes you're compelled to dig pretty deep. Now, tell me how you go about finding oil. How do you look for oil?
Well, you find a place that you think it ought to be in and get the company to lease the land or buy it, and then you drill a well.
Mm-hmm. After you find a likely spot, what happens?
Well, you drill the well, and then the geology department goes to work and studies the well and the findings from it and other companies' wells, and goes out and studies the rocks and the structure of them and so forth, and then we draw up a picture to tell the management why the oil wasn't there.
And the next thing, the stockholders get a letter. Well, you've both been real informative, and I wish you lots of luck in the quiz. All right, now you're going to play You Bet Your Life. Beat our other couples, and you'll get a chance at the $2,000 question. Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected locations of colleges. I can't tell you how much you have to win, but George is going to remind our listeners.
Our first couple won $319.86, and the secret word is heart.
How much are you going to bet? You have $20.
20.
Want to go for 20?
Well, 1998.
1998.
1998. What college is at South Bend, Indiana?
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame is right.
Well, you're on your way. Good start. You have $39.98.
Did you go to Notre Dame, Martha?
No.
I thought so, on account of the Gallagher being the last name. Remember, you're going for $2,000 tonight. Now, how much of this $39.98 are you going to try?
$39.97.
Talk it up.
$39.97.
Okay. What college is at New Haven, Connecticut?
Yale.
Yale. He knew that. That's a fine question to ask a locksmith.
You now have $79.95.
And here's your third question. How much of that sum will you bet?
$79.94.
Okay, what college is at Evanston, Illinois?
It's the University of Illinois.
No, it isn't.
Evanston.
Evanston?
No, it isn't.
Time's up, kids. Take a stab if you don't know. Think of some college around there.
Illinois.
No, I'm sorry. It's Northwestern.
You now have 1 penny.
Go bet it all.
You going to bet it all? All right, now you're going to bet a cent. What college is at Ithaca, New York?
It's Cornell.
Cornell is right.
And they wind up with 2 cents.
2 cents, huh?
That's not enough.
That's what you don't put it. Keep your 2 cents out of this. All right, we're not going to let you leave here with 2 cents. We're going to give you enough money to bring this sum up to $25, so at least you'll each get 12 and a half. Now get this right, and you'll have $25, and no coaching, please. What kind of wood was the old oaken bucket? Oak is right. Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers.
Groucho, we have a young lady from the City Hall Information Bureau and a test pilot for you now. They were chosen just before we went on the air. Miss Evelyn Hayden and Mr. Bill Bridgman, meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you always have with you. Evelyn Hayden. Now, let's see, a test pilot and a girl from the Information Bureau. Huh? Is that right?
Inflammation?
Oh, information. Oh.
Information.
Well, which one is from the Information Bureau?
I am.
Oh. That certainly was a quick answer. You're very well informed, Evelyn. Do you pronounce it Evelyn or Evelyn?
Any way that you say is all right with me.
It won't. You won't win any more money by those tactics. In that case, I'll call you Evelyn, huh? Where are you from, Ev? Gosh, we get familiar quickly up here.
I'm from Colorado.
Oh. It's amazing how much this girl knows. I just met her, and already she knows where she's from. Maybe I can stump her. Are you married? No help in the audience, please. You are married, huh? Mr. Bill Bridgman, eh? You're a test pilot?
Yes, that's right.
What is your hometown, Bill?
Tumwa, Iowa.
Are you married?
No.
Not married, huh? Fine-looking, rugged, youthful test pilot? Like you, not married? How come?
I was married once. That's how come.
Well, he's a test pilot, all right. You test anything. Who do you work for, Bill?
I work for Douglas.
Douglas who? Fairbanks?
Douglas Aircraft.
It's an odd name for a man, isn't it? Douglas Aircraft. It must have been named after that factory in Santa Monica. What does a test pilot do on his job?
Oh, it's 99% talk and about 1% action.
You sound like a political candidate. Who do you talk to, and what about?
Well, you spend quite a bit of time talking to the engineers, the aerodynamists, and the plant.
Mm-hmm. Is that fun?
Not a bit. No, I don't think so.
I guess they're pretty smart, though. These
Very
engineers.
smart, yes.
Well, they must be smart. They stay on the ground and let you fly the plane. No schlemiels, eh? I think I'll get my feet on the ground. Ev, where's your information bureau?
City Hall lobby.
In the lobby? Oh, well, that's the right place for it. There's certainly plenty of lobbying going on at the City Hall. You, what kind of questions do you get down at this place, Mrs. Hayden?
Oh, we get questions on almost every subject.
Well, what, for example?
Well,
You mean if I ask you a question on any subject, you could give me an answer?
Well, probably I couldn't answer everyone, but if I couldn't, I could tell you the proper place to go.
Well, I expect to go there eventually. We're all going there. Let's not be too cocky about it, anybody. I bet you've all got plenty to answer for, too. How long have you been test piloting, Mr. Bridgman.
About 4 years.
Well, how did you get into this kind of soft racket?
Well, came out of the Navy and flew for the airlines for a year and decided I'd like test flying better and went to work for Douglas.
Mm-hmm. What kind of planes do you test?
Usually research, high-speed research aircraft.
What's the fastest anyone has ever flown? Do you happen to know?
To date, it's 1,238 miles an hour.
1,238 miles an hour? A man must be off his nut to fly that fast. What's the fastest you've gone, Bill?
1,238 miles per hour.
Well, Bill, it's an honor to have you here, and I apologize, and you don't have to get married again if you don't want to. Now, let's consider this 1,238 miles an hour. That's pretty fast. At that speed, how long would it take you to fly across the country?
Well, I think it's been figured that if you left New York at 9 a.m. and traveled across the country, you would arrive at Los Angeles at 8:30 a.m. on the same day.
You know, I think his flaps are dragging. How can you land here a half hour before you take off in New York? Do you oil your wristwatch with Ceratans?
No, because of the 3-hour time difference and sidereal time against the sun, you can beat the time lag and make it a half an hour sooner.
You get here a half hour before you left?
Before you left, that's right.
I don't think I'd care for that. I could get my face slapped in Los Angeles even before I kissed a girl in New York. How does it feel to go that fast? Over 1,000 miles an hour.
Oh, I think you'll get a greater feeling of speed right here driving through traffic in Los Angeles.
You think men will be able to go faster than that?
I think in the next year we'll find 2 or 3 planes going faster than that.
What do you think of flying saucers?
I'm not a believer myself. I haven't seen any. If one lands out here at Municipal, I'm convinced.
As I remember, Bill, you flew pretty high when you set that record. How high did you fly?
It was recorded at 79,400 feet.
It's about 16 miles, huh?
16 miles, that's right.
Some fellows will do anything to avoid getting married again. Well, Bill, it's been an honor talking to a courageous man like you, and we'll make it safe for the rest of the world to fly, and I wish you the best of luck in all your future flights.
Thank you.
And you too, Evelyn. All right, now you're going to play You Bet Your Life. Beat our other couples, and you'll get a chance at the $1,000 question. Can't tell you how much you have to win, but George is going to remind our listeners.
Our first couple still leads with $319.86.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected words ending in AC as your category. Here's your first question. How much will you bet?
19 and a half.
1950.
1975.
1975. Okay.
1975.
All right. What is the word ending in AC, that means a yearbook containing all sorts of facts and information? You can help him, you know, Evelyn. You're his partner.
Almanac.
Almanac is right.
And you're on your way. You have $39.75.
Bill, you came out of a steep dive that time, didn't you, for that? All right, you're going for $2,000 tonight. Now, how much of the $39.75 are you going to try?
About 39 and a half.
39.55.
39.50.
What is the word ending in act that means a mentally unbalanced person who is dangerous?
Maniac.
Maniac is right.
You now have $79.25.
Now you have $79.25 is your third question. How much are you going to bet?
79.
Okay.
79.
What is the word ending in act that means the signs that astrologers use?
Zodiac.
Zodiac is right.
You now have $158.25.
And this is your last chance to be the other couples. What are you going to try for?
158.25.
What is the word ending in act that means a clear liquid used in wood finishing?
Shellac.
Shellac is right.
And you wind up with $316.50. And that means the French bride and her partner with $319.86 in just 1 minute. Get the chance of the DeSoto Plymouth $2,000 question. Awful close.
here's a lovely lady you all know with news about the distinguished 1953 DeSoto.
Hi, this is Arlene Francis, and I want to make a date with you. A date for Thursday, November 13th. That's a really important day because that's the day the beautiful new 1953 DeSoto goes on display for the very first time at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers. I have seen this 1953 DeSoto, and honestly, I think it's the most beautiful car ever built. This new 1953 DeSoto is lower, longer, lovelier, with a wonderful styling and beauty of design both inside and out. I know you'll want to be among the first to see this beautiful new 1953 DeSoto just as soon as it goes on display. Let's make that a date then, Thursday, November 13th at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers, the day the beautiful new 1953 DeSoto goes on display. Don't keep me waiting, will you? Oh, and I'm going to be on You Bet Your Life television sometime soon, along with the beautiful 1953 DeSoto. Watch for us, won't you?
Here's the French bride and her partner, Groucho, the winning couple, all ready for the $2,000 DeSoto Plymouth question.
Well, are you cute, you? You go back to France if you win this money? La Belle France?
No, I wouldn't.
Would you take another flyer at Hungary?
No.
If you go back, don't tell them that joke that I told about the 2 eggs and the omelet, huh? I'm sorry I told it here. Here we go for $2,000. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you. Think carefully and please no help from the audience. Are you ready? I'm sure everyone has read the book of Genesis in the Bible. See how well you remember it. It tells, among other things, how Cain slew his brother Abel. For $2,000, tell me the name of the land to which Cain fled after the murder. Talk it over. What's the answer you two have decided upon?
I don't know.
Well, I'm sorry. It's the land of Nod. That's the correct answer. So that means the big question next week will be worth $2,500. Well, you lost the big money, but how much they win in the quiz?
$319.86.
Well, that's not too bad. Congratulations, and thanks to both of you and to all of our contestants on the show tonight.
Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at the same time for the Groucho Marx Show, when the big question will be worth $2,500. And don't miss Groucho's television show, also presented by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth. 2 great cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
Don't forget, folks, on Thursday, November 13th, the distinguished 1953 DeSoto will go on display for the very first time at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Make a date to see it, and when you drive in, tell them Groucho sent you.
Folks, freedom is everybody's business. In America, it's your responsibility to preserve that freedom. And the best way you can do that is by your vote. It's important that you vote if you're going to get the kind of government you want. No matter how you vote this November 4th, be a good American. Get out and vote. You Bet Your Life. Transcribed from Hollywood is produced by John Goodell. Directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith. Music by Jerry Fielding. This is George Fenneman signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast.
You are listening to Golden Age Radio, rumble.com/C/GAR. Brought to you by G3PL.com.
The Raleigh Cigarette Program from Hollywood, starring Red Skelton with Ozzie Nelson and his orchestra, Harriet Hilliard, and yours truly, Truman Bradley. Many changes are predicted for 1943. But we'll forecast a mighty happy change if you switch to Raleigh cigarettes. That's no guesswork either, because you can see for yourself by comparison that the tobaccos in Raleigh's are unmistakably more golden in color. That's the expert's test of choicer, more expensive tobaccos, your assurance of finer quality. And for unrivaled richness, smoothness, mildness, 31 of these better tobaccos are blended into Raleigh's to produce a full, mellow, completely satisfying flavor. There will be added glee in 43, too, because Raleigh coupons may be redeemed for dozens of handsome luxury premiums. Greet the new year with new cheer. Meet the pack with the coupon on the back, Raleigh Cigarettes. And now we bring you Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer's young comedian, the star of our show, Red Skelton.
Thank you very much. The bass fiddle solo there. The rest of the band is down at the Biltmore Bowl tonight. Thank you and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you tonight, Truman? You're really looking good. How do you feel, kid?
Wait a minute. Red, not so fast.
I can't help it. I just got back from a visit up at Henry J. Kaiser's shipyards.
Gosh, they must really do things fast up there, huh?
Fast? One guy took time out to sneeze the other day and he had to run all the way to Australia to finish tapping a nail on the head.
I missed the boat once.
You did, Ozzie?
Yes, she told me she'd never been kissed. Mm-hmm. So I acted like a brother towards her.
Oh, what happened?
Well, I saw her later at a party, and it was every man for himself.
A lot of brothers, huh?
I suppose you christened one of the boats while you were there, Ed?
No, but my uncle christened one of the boats with an empty bottle of champagne.
An empty champagne bottle? Why?
I told you it was my uncle, didn't I?
Listen, Red. I didn't know you were so interested in ships.
Oh, sure. I'm a good sailor.
Good sailor, huh?
Yeah.
Have you ever been on a boat?
Nope, not that good.
It certainly is a great thing. Henry Kaiser's ships go all over the world, don't they?
Yeah, the Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, the Arctic Ocean, and Hollywood Boulevard.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute, Red. Hollywood Boulevard isn't an ocean.
No, stick around, brother. Stick around.
Hi, Red.
Hello, Harriet.
Say, Mr. Kaiser really launches those boats fast, doesn't he?
You said it. So many boats came sliding down into the water. An oyster came up from the bay with his wife, and he says, "Come on, Mabel, let's get out of this madhouse."
I knew about boats once.
You did, Ozzie?
Yes, when I was 5 years old, I used to play in the bathtub, but I had to give it up.
How come?
Well, one day my father came in to take a bath and sat on a two-masted schooner.
You know, I asked Mr. Kaiser if I could work on the production line for a while, and he let me.
Gosh, that must have been fun.
Yeah, as soon as I got in there, some guy starts throwing red-hot rivets at me. You know, you're supposed to catch those in a little bucket, they told me, as they were spraying my hair with a hose.
Red, did you meet the foreman on the job?
Oh, boy, and what a tough guy he is. One of the fellows had an accident and broke his arm.
What happened?
Foreman looked at it and he says, "Here, take one of mine. Get back to work."
Say, Red, did you get a letter from Wonderful Smith this week?
Yeah, I did. It's very short, though.
I hope he got some nice presents. Yeah. I know his girl was knitting him a sweater. Did he say whether he got it or not?
Yeah, it says, "Dear Mr. Skelton and friends." He's up at John T. Knight, you know. It says, "My girlfriend knitted me a sweater, and it's a funny thing. It fits every man in my regiment at the same time."
Does he say what they had for dinner on Christmas?
Yeah, he said we had a wonderful Christmas dinner. Turkey, of course. I won't say what part of the bird I got, but I'm glad a turkey ain't built like a P-38.
Every Tom and Dick and Harry has a girl he wants to marry. Every sultan has 100 wives or two. I've a wonderful suggestion, 'cause I'd like to pop the question, darling, why shouldn't I have you? Every sailor has a cutie, every soldier has a beauty. The Marines, I hear, have landed quite a few. Every Injun has a squaw, every paw has got his maw. Why shouldn't I have you? I'm good to my folks, I don't repeat jokes. I don't hang my clothes on the floor. It will never be said I eat crackers in bed, and I've honestly and truly never heard myself snore. We will raise a family, a girl for you, a boy for me, exemptions on our income taxes too. So come on, honey, let's get tied. Every man should have a bride. Why shouldn't I have you?
Now I'm only just supposing, I assume that you're proposing, so just buy the wedding ring, I'll dress in blue. For I hear you've gobs of money, and I see no earthly reason, honey, why shouldn't I have you? 'Cause you're always working steady, get the preacher man, I'm ready, and I promise to obey, and I'll be true. You fulfill all my desires, and I hear you have some lovely tires, why shouldn't I have you? Life will be great, we'll buy an estate, I'll send for my sister and brother. And old Uncle Joe, you'll love him, I know. Oh, and don't forget, we'll have a special room for Mother. Oh, I just remembered something more. I've been married twice before. Phoebe is 5 and little Joe is 4. Oh, you'll love them, dear, I know. Where did that guy go? That's the funniest thing. There was a man standing right
That was Why Shouldn't I Have You, played by Ozzie Nelson and Harriet Hilliard in the orchestra. And tonight we're going to show how different people have different embarrassments. First we go to New York couple, Bert and Gert, who've just been married and are now going to live in Glendale. Well, it's all over, Goit.
Yep, gee, wasn't it a beautiful wedding, boy?
Yeah.
Say, wasn't your brother a scream throwing that rice?
Yeah, but he shouldn't made it into pudding first.
I hope them pictures they took of the ceremony will be in Life magazine.
Well, if they're in Life, my old man won't like it.
Why not?
He takes Esquire. He says that's Life.
Oh, look, boy, there's still a pair of old shoes tied to the back of the car.
Yeah, I guess your mother fell out on the last curve.
Gee, boy, we're a long way from home, and we're almost out of gas.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to print another A-book.
When I get home, I'm going to put a piece of the wedding cake under my pillow.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I'll do it after all my weddings.
Wait a minute, Goit. You been married before?
Sure.
Oh, that's right. You used to live near a bus stop, didn't you? Well, here's where we're going to live, Goit. This is our little love nest. I'll stop the car. Synthetic rubber. Boy, ain't it beautiful out here. Look at that front yard. Just 2 feet of nothing but doit.
Yeah, and what's on the other side of the doit?
More doit. Well, come on, let's go inside the house, huh? Hey, wait a minute, Goit. Ain't you forgotten something?
What?
Ain't you going to carry me over the threshold?
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Hop on.
Okay.
Oh, gee, boy, you sure are heavy.
Yeah, careful you don't rock my wardrobe trunk. Hey, watch out for the door. You'll bump me head.
Oh, boy. Boy, do you hide?
Nah, my nose was always on hinges. Well, this is the way. Put me down, will you?
Oh, gee, look, an overstuffed chair.
Yeah, go ahead, sit in it. I stuffed it myself.
Okay. What did you stuff it with?
Beer caps. I think it's the milkman. I'll go to the door and see who it is. Hello?
I'm from the finance company. Where's the dough for that wedding ring?
Well, put that harpoon down and I'll tell you. Say, now take your hands off of my coat lapel, brother. That's paid for.
Now, don't alibi, bub. You're 3 payments behind on the first installment.
Look, I just got married. I ain't got no money.
Oh, wait, boy. If it's an emergency, let him take the ring. Here.
Well,
at least we still have a nice place to live.
Yeah.
Gee, ain't the furniture nice?
Yeah, I just love that chaise lounge.
Chaise lounge?
Yeah, that's French for Murphy bed with lace. Sure, it's a busy little place. Somebody else
Well,
at the
open
door.
the door, boy.
Come in.
It's me again. I'm also from the Hotsy Totsy Furniture Company, and to date your credit has not been so hotsy. Totsy?
Don't call me Totsy Hotsy or I'll punch you right in your butsy.
We want our money.
Tell him I'll pay him Monday.
Good. Then we'll bring the furniture back on Tuesday.
No,
All right, boys,
no,
take
wait.
it away.
Hey, you can't do that. But they did, didn't they, folks?
Aw, gee, boy, did they leave anything?
Shh, not so loud. They forgot one of the Louis XIV chairs. Goodbye, Louis. Be sure and right. Well, that's that. This is our little house, but nothing.
Hey, listen, boys. What's that noise?
Oh, that's just a mouse.
Well, what was that?
That's a rat chasing a mouse. That's a cat chasing a rat. Thank goodness the light changed.
Boy, you fibbed to me. Before we were married, you said you had a nest egg of $500.
I got a nest egg.
Well, what are you saving it for?
A hen's egg.
You told me you made a lot of money.
Now we got 3 eggs.
Boy, you told me you made good money.
I did make good money, but something went wrong. I couldn't get the ink to dry on them $10 bills.
Well, I ain't gonna live like this. Goodbye. I'm going home to Mother.
Okay, I'll answer that. Hello? Okay, I'll tell her. That was your mother. She says, oh, no, you don't. Here we have Clem, the fellow from the country. He's always easily embarrassed because everybody picks on him. And here he is, old happy-go-punchy himself. Well, here I am. Mr. 555. Mr. 5 foot tall, Mr. 5 foot. I just love those Christmas carols. Sometimes I wonder what makes me so dumb. Maybe it's because people's always playing she loves me not with my eyebrows. Well, I wish I could do something about protecting myself. If that guy mistakes me for Bill Snuffbucket once more, I'll stick my tongue out at him. If I can get it to uncoil in time. Well, here's Daisy June's house. I think I'll crawl up on my hands and knees so she won't see me. Oh, stepped on my ear. I'll press my nose up against the window here and see if I can... See, I wish I could see the end of my nose. I bet it's bleeding.
Hello, Clem.
Well,
Why, Clem, you got your head all shaved off.
Yep, read what it says up there.
Gee, Plymouth Rock.
Hey, can I go inside your house, Daisy June?
No.
Oh, come on. I took a bath. Some time ago.
But it's not that, Clem. There's a collector inside, and unless we pay the mortgage, out we go.
Gotta pay the mortgage or out you go? In the snow?
Yep.
In a blizzard?
Yep.
Freeze to death?
Yep.
Corny little plot, ain't it, folks? Well, maybe I can help you out. How much is it?
$200?
Well, I'll help you. Carry a few things out. Hey, I got my insurance. I could commit suicide.
Oh, Clem, I couldn't let you do that.
I understand it hurts, too.
Oh, Clem, you're an idiot.
No, I am not.
Well, then what are you?
I'm an apprentice moron.
Well, come on in and close the door.
Okay.
Here, Clem, let's look at the want ads in the newspaper for some help. Huh?
Okay, here's a full-page ad. What is it? The help wanted. Signed, Rommel.
Clem, look at this one. Fighter wanted at the Legion Stadium.
Let's see. Cash prizes for all contestants. That's for me.
Oh, Clem, you never had a fight in your life.
I did, too.
When?
Time I tried to get on the Sunset bus with a bull fiddle.
I'm talking about prize fighting. You ain't got no muscle.
I ain't got no muscle. Look at that arm. That ain't hay.
Must be. It ain't muscle.
No, you just feel that arm. Just keep feeling it. Go ahead.
Well, I am feeling, but I don't feel any muscle.
Well, be patient. It'll swim along any minute.
Oh, don't kid me. You ain't strong at all. Well, I saw you trying to pull a worm out of a hole, and the worm won.
Yeah. He didn't play fair, though. When I pulled on one end, he tickled me with the other. Hey, look, Daisy June, I'll fight for you. I'll fight for you to the last drop of blood.
What was that?
That was it.
Well, all right. Come on, let's go to the stadium.
Okay, you can be my trainer.
Clem, if you get this money for me, why, maybe I'll say yes.
Say yes to what?
To what you're always asking me.
Really? You mean you'll try to get me in the Girl Scouts?
No. I mean get married.
Yeah?
And after a little while, we'd hear the pitter-patter of tiny little feet upstairs.
No, not me, boy. I ain't living downstairs under no midgets. Not me.
Well, come on, be careful crossing the street.
Okay, careful, there's a car. Boy, them A-car drivers sure get mad when they miss you nowadays, don't they? Ain't waste their gas to come back and take a second crack at you.
Here's the stadium, Clem.
Yeah, come on, let's go in. That must be the guy in charge over there. I'll stick out my chest and walk over and make him think I'm a fighter. Howdy, mister.
Oh, now look, Bud, if you're looking for the cemetery, it's 2 blocks down.
Hey, now don't talk to me like that. I'm a fighter. I want to fight here tonight.
You a fighter?
Yep.
You couldn't punch your way out of a paper bag.
Oh, no.
No.
You give me a paper bag, bub, and I'll show you. Come on, now, just get right in here. Now. Hey, let me out of here, will you? That was Ozzie Nelson and his orchestra playing that well-known tone poem, I'd rather be with a blonde in a pond than alone with a creep in a Jeep.
I wrote a poem once.
You did, Ozzie?
Yes, as follows. Mary Rose sat on a tack. Mary Rose.
Well, there's no sense to that.
I know, but there's a lot of feeling.
Well, how do you like this poem I wrote? New Year's Day brings resolutions, headaches chased by strong solutions. It's time to halt all further folly, so get wise, you guys, and switch to Raleigh.
Bravo, Red, bravo. Even Shakespeare himself couldn't have done better.
Shakespeare, is he a writer over at MGM?
Well, I don't know, but if Shakespeare were here tonight, he'd say, make this a Raleigh Happy New Year right from the first stroke of 1943. Switch to Raleigh cigarettes and start saving those valuable golden Raleigh coupons. Mm-hmm. They're redeemable in cash, 3/4 of a cent each.
Yeah, can they be redeemed for war stamps, too?
Right. In addition, there are dozens and dozens of handsome premiums. Bridge tables, chairs, books, tableware, sportswear, and many, many more luxury items. They're all pictured in the big new Raleigh Premium Catalog. To get this colorful, illustrated booklet absolutely free, just send a postcard to Raleigh Cigarettes, care of the station to which you're listening.
Send a postcard to Raleigh Cigarettes?
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell me those cigarettes can read, too.
No, Red.
They give you everything else. I thought maybe they'd just sit down and read you a story while you were smoking one.
No, but there's a lot to read about Raleigh's. They're blended from 31 more golden tobaccos. Raleigh's, unrivaled in richness, smoothness, mildness. The pack with the coupon on the back, Raleigh Cigarettes.
Then we have a lady and her little boy. He can really cause embarrassing moments, so Harriet, you be my mother, and I'll be the mean little Karen.
Where is you?
Huh?
I said, where is you?
Mommy, you better stop listening to Amos and Andy.
What are you doing way up on top of that bookcase?
Well, Pop hid something up here, and I want to see what it was. Whoop! There it goes.
Oh, bottle.
Oh.
Perfume.
Perfume, yeah. 90 proof.
Now you come down from there.
Right. Oh, fell on me with a head. Didn't hurt me.
Now listen to me, Junior. You're going to mine today because your grandpa's coming from Hollywood to see it.
Oh, boy, Hollywood. I know all about Hollywood. That's the place where they keep the wolves.
Oh. There are no wolves in Hollywood.
Please, folks, don't disillusion my mummy, will you? Hey, Mummy, do you think Grandpa will take me back to Hollywood with him?
Well, what for?
Well, I can get in the movie. I got talent, ain't I? Well, I can act, can't I? Well, I good looking, ain't I? Oh, well, there's always Lockheed.
Now, you just run upstairs and wash up a bit.
Okay.
And,
okay.
Junior, will you please try not to embarrass Mother today?
For a dime yet.
Never mind about the dime.
Oh, free stuff. Well, you'll have to take it up with me lawyer. You're going up there. Now, let's see now. Where's that lucky razor? Oh, here it is.
Junior, what's that noise? What are you doing?
Shaving?
Why, you haven't got enough hair to shave.
On me head?
Oh, what have you done to yourself?
Look, Mummy, X marks the spot. A spot. There's certain words I had to be careful with, you know. Oh, somebody at the door. We have got company.
Oh, hello, little boy.
Hello.
The lady of the house in?
No, but my mummy, eh?
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm selling walnuts.
Walnuts? Oh, boy, don't them look delicious.
Oh, they are. They're very good. Reach in and take a handful.
Oh, no, I don't think I better.
Go ahead.
No.
Well, all right. I'll give you a handful. Hold out your cap.
Well, now, that's mighty neighborly of you.
Why, Junior, how come you're so polite? Why did you wait when he asked you to take a handful?
He handed bigger. Boy, these sure look good, boy. I think I will bite into one of them.
Oh, Junior, you're supposed to take the shells off first.
Now she tells me.
Well, here, I'll take 2 pounds.
teeth.
Junior, go open Mummy's purse and take out a $1 bill, will you?
Now, she ought to know better than that. Okay, let's see. There's Mummy's purse up on the table by the vase. I will reach up and get it. Oh. Well, how do you like that? An unbreakable vase. Well, that's the dirtiest trick they've ever done since Pop tried to trade me for a Wowie coupon. Boy, I bet I could throw that vase up against the wall. It wouldn't even put a dent in it. I think I would try it. It may be fun. Now, who put that window there?
Junior, what did you break? Now, where did that dog come from?
Dog or cat, it always works. I'm going to wind up with a menagerie. Here, Mummy. Here's your purse, Mummy. I couldn't open it, dog.
You couldn't?
No.
Well, at last I found a good use for mouse traps.
Oh, so that's what bit me, huh?
Now, I'll pay you for those walnuts.
Yeah.
Oh, dear, I don't seem to have any change at all.
Well, don't let her tell you she'll pay you Tuesday, or, brother, you'll be a dead pigeon with handles.
Junior, don't you dare talk to me like that.
Oh, you bit me. You broke me with your teeth. You broke me with your teeth.
I did not.
I'll prove it. Ow, my leg! You bit me. I'm sorry, Bub. I could have sworn she broke my teeth.
Oh, now you're going to bed without your supper.
Listen, Mummy, for the last 2 weeks now, you've been sending me to bed without me supper.
So, what have you got to say about it?
Just one thing. Stop taking advantage of the meat shortage to starve me into submission.
Lady, you can pay me later.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I meant to just gum you a little there. Hey, Mummy, I'm kind of hungry.
I told you won't eat tonight.
All right, then I will bang me little head up against the wall.
Junior, stop banging your head against that wall. Can't you see it's been freshly painted? Now, don't bother me. Go on, you go.
Love me, don't you?
You just go and play or something. Go on, get out.
Okay. Let's see. Here I am, all alone. Now, what can I do without breaking the law? The federal law, I mean. Oh, boy, somebody at the door. Oh, it's Gramp. Hey, Mummy, Gramp is here. Oh, boy, I better hurry downstairs and see me Gramp. I tripped.
Hello, my dear.
Well, hello, Gramp. What'd you bring me?
Here, I brought you a penny.
Oh, you shouldn't have done it. You stingy old mite.
Hello, Grandfather. Well, Junior, aren't you going to say you're glad to see Gramp?
What for? He ain't got no packages under your arm.
Now, Junior, I sent you a baseball bat for Christmas, didn't I?
But I want to electric train.
Now, it's not the gift, my boy. It's the spirit of giving that counts.
Every year, the same old baloney.
Junior, what did I tell you about embarrassing people? I ought to give you a good spanking for that.
Go ahead. I don't care. I got me heavy underwear on. Go
All
ahead.
right, turn over.
Go ahead.
There. That'll teach you to keep your trap closed.
I feel a little tired after my trip. I'd like to have a cup of coffee.
Coffee, he says. You drink furniture polish and like it, brother.
Upstairs, Junior.
No, you let me stay here or I will tell.
You'll tell what?
I will tell everybody you used to work in an open manhole.
I did not.
Oh, no. Hey, Butch, here comes a big truck.
Okay, kid, let's duck. Junior! All right, I'm going to fix you.
What you going to do?
I'm going to run away.
Oh, you would?
Yes, and you'll never see me again.
Oh, please don't run away.
Well, why not?
Well, because you're a wonderful mummy to me. You take care of me, and, well, I just couldn't go on if I ever lost you.
Why, Junior, I didn't know you felt that way.
Yes.
Well, all right. I'll stay.
Boy, they sure eat that stuff up, don't they, folks?
Pipe smokers, don't go away. Here's a communique.
Smoke a pipe, mister. Then by all means smoke Sir Walter Raleigh pipe tobacco. Sir Walter Raleigh is a complete blend, a full-bodied combination of extra choice burleys cured and aged to perfection to bring out every bit of the rich tobacco goodness. Smooth and mild and mellow, with nary a mite of bite. And Sir Walter Raleigh has a pleasing He-Man aroma that's welcome wherever you go. Smoke the quality pipe tobacco of America, Sir Walter Raleigh.
Remember, we'll all be back again next Tuesday at the same time. Red Skelton, Ozzie Nelson and his orchestra, Harriet Hilliard and yours truly, Truman Bradley. Meanwhile, listen to the Tommy Dorsey Show tomorrow night over most of these same stations. Until Tuesday night, then.
This is Red Skelton saying goodbye now. Thanks for listening, and may we wish you all a very prosperous and a happy New Year. To the boys up at Camp Rice, thanks for your hospitality.
Red Skelton is heard on this program through the courtesy of Metro Goldwyn Mayer. This program has been broadcast to the armed forces overseas and has come to you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
You have been listening to rumble.com/C/GAR, brought to you by G3PL.com. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos.
I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to Old Time Radio Research Group for their remarkable efforts in preserving and archiving the captivating world of old time radio programs. Their dedication to safeguarding these precious audio gems ensures that future generations can relish the enchanting stories, music, and entertainment of the past. Their invaluable contribution allows us to step back in time and experience the magic of radio history firsthand. Their link is in the description below.